Hey, 715209. Happy Tuesday. This is the last stream in October. I'll be back. I don't actually know the day. November 3rd. So the first Monday in November. And then after that, it's going to be probably pretty steady working for a while. I might take some time toward the end of December. I think we're going to have some visitors. But yeah, I really want to make the most of this year. Get as much stuff done as possible. Is athletics. Yeah, I feel bad. So sometimes I have a stream open while I'm like setting up, and I just happened to type a joke, and then I was like, oh, now he knows that I'm there. So then he talked about me. So then I felt the need to say something else. But yeah, then I just closed the stream and started mine, and I feel bad because I don't like when people, I don't know, I don't like a couple things about this. Although part of it is assumed intent, and I know what my actual intent is, but he might not. Hey, Jeff Alton, thank you. Happy pre-vacation. All right, I'm saying vacation will resume the streams in November. Today's stream will be about finalizing any work that can be done from the to-do list. It'll only last for the morning. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff to do today. Okay, so Renegade Pies tried Skeleseller yesterday, and overall it's good news. But man, he started out and there was like 7 minutes of him just resizing the game window. And I thought, man, he's trolling me, but he's not trolling me. That's just how Paish is. But yeah, he said he likes the mode. He like many other people had a bunch of comments about the direction that this was taken in. And I suspect more people are going to think this even once the game is released. And my stance has always been, I just want people to have fun. But a lot of people comment on a couple of things. One is that in bone mode, you don't customize your skills. And my reason that I said in the stream yesterday to Page, and then I'll say now, is that if you could customize these builds, there's almost certainly going to be a best build. And you'll just pick that every single time to the point where it shouldn't even give you skill points. It should just pick that best build for you. So that's why you don't pick your own skills. And then people usually suggest like, oh, well, what about for this kind of battle, it does one thing, and for this kind of battle, it does another thing. So you've kind of got like an AoE build or a single target build. And again, it doesn't matter. And for anyone who's played Skeleseller long enough, I think they realize that like battles fade into the background. They're not intended to be something where you're like, okay, it's only doing 6 damage there and it should be doing 7 damage or something. It's like, it's not to that level. So that's one thing people comment on. Another thing is some just general like town stuff. Actually, I shouldn't say general town stuff. Some of it's actually valid feedback that I want to work on. What's the other thing that people say, though? I don't recall. But then he looked at this and he thought, okay, this is pretty cool. Like, he liked the idea of unlocking these. I almost wonder if there should be other things you can put points into. Maybe you unlock certain upgrades once you've beaten level 10. And you can start like min-maxing stuff. I don't know. I think it'll be clearer once we're actually there. Anyway, yeah, we have a lot of work to do. So I want to go through this stuff. I also want to do a release today. The tip that shows the beginning, which tells you your starting perks, should probably have a 2-minute timer on it that goes away on its own. Honestly, I don't even think this is that important. If people don't dismiss this, then they don't dismiss this. That's fine. You shouldn't have it for scenario 1. And scenario 1 is the only scenario that can have a tip that you could block. So what I'm talking about is this. You pick a leg up. You see upwards of 10 lines showing up in this tip at the side. And I was saying maybe this should have a time limit. Should it? Like, yeah, you just close this at the beginning. It's like, hey, I acknowledged it. So yeah, I don't think we're going to do this. Update. This just isn't important. I haven't seen anyone complain about it either. All right, may need to tell people about re-rolling. I don't think it needs to happen in game. Maybe there can be a tip on the end screen. Maybe it'll just be made clear through a high difficulty challenge that you get fewer re-rolls. You know, it'd be nice if we had a place where we could just show general tips like this. Like, did you know you can use keyboard shortcuts for moving items. And ideally, they would have discovered this in the main mode, but a lot of people don't read that stuff. Or did you know you can re-roll perks? We just don't really have a place for that to show up right now. We could put it on the new run screen. Like there could be space at the bottom here that just says tip. Also, I wonder if I should put the upgrades button down here. Or put this in a tab or something. I don't know. Actually, I was thinking about that. Why not have this? This could be like scenario selection and then upgrades as its own tab. So they're all kind of in the same panel and you don't need to click this. All right, I shouldn't think about the UI too much there. Yeah, so where would we put these tips? Oh, you know what? We could, if we do that tab interface, if this is a banner here that says like, I don't know, intro or whatever, overview, and then there's an upgrades tab and an unlock perks tab, there could be a tips tab. And the tips tab could just say this stuff. I think that could be interesting. Did I mention anything else about tabs in here? Yeah. We could even have a tips tab where we talk about re-rolling perks, keyboard shortcuts for the quick move menu and whatever else. What other things should there? That's probably fine. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this. Even though it hasn't been done, but it's kind of a duplicated thing. This is tracked elsewhere now. Oh man. I feel like it was an insanity simulator. Just a fever dream. And I went back. I didn't know what I had missed. I was there for a lot of it, but then we had company over, and then I was only like half paying attention toward the end. So I rewatched the whole VOD, and I didn't get too much extra value out of it. Yeah. I wrote down some general comments. Overall, I think the most important thing is just he had fun playing. And it doesn't really matter how he had fun. Sure, he played scenario 1 a bunch of times and tried to get it under 5 minutes. But hey, if he had fun, then great. I think I've been looking at the stats a little bit. There have been 8 people who've played a total of 25 runs. These numbers aren't really going up, I guess, at least in terms of number of runs per player. Everyone kind of, it's always kind of been an average of 3. And that, I guess, means that you play scenario 1, you play scenario 2, maybe you play scenario 3, and then you stop. I could look at the times and figure out, like, when are people playing these. Maybe I should do that. How do we do that then? Let's do this. Select metrics ID. And then the created at. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so this is since the release on, is that right? 10/17? That's Friday. Yeah. Okay. What am I doing here? Hey, Smalls, thanks for the raid. How you doing? How's everyone doing? I hope the stream went well. This is the last stream for me for October. I'm about to take a vacation and I want to get through my to-do list. And one of the things that we have is a metrics survey that keeps track of everyone's runs. So we have 8 unique people and 25 runs. I just want to see what is the spread of how many runs is each person doing. So like this person only did 1 run. This person did 2. So let's just write down the numbers. 1, 2, we could probably do this better. 3. Another 3. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. 6. This is 2, 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, am I doing that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Okay, so we had 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 6, 7. Last stream, why? The vacation I just mentioned. Yeah, how's it going, Smalls? Typical. So this means 2 people are only playing a single run. They're playing scenario 1 and then they're just done. I wonder why. I wonder how long it took them. Maybe we should look at that. How do I look at that? CM saved on Jason. Should be an elapsed time here, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we can select that maybe. I don't know how you do that. Yeah. I want to select a substring of a gigantic JSON blob. Things always taking longer than I want them to. Yeah, I know how you feel about that. I think, I've got this like brick command about the mentality I try to have for some of this stuff, but I've worked through so many pages of to-do list, and now we're finally down to a tenable amount. Your demo's live? Yeah. It's been live for, I think about, whoops, that's not my demo. It's been live for about a year, maybe? I can't recall when I put this online. Maybe it's in the community hub. Because people have been asking about that. October 2024. Yeah, okay. It's been about a year, probably. Have a nice one. You work quite a bit these days, so vacation is justified. Yeah, thank you, Typical. I appreciate that. Something that Pige did a ton was restart the runs. We're not tracking that, are we? We aren't. And actually, I forgot that Pige would be part of this data. So probably he's one of the people who hit 6 or 7. In fact, he must be. In fact, I know he's at least 6 because no, he has to be the person who got 7. Because I remember seeing him completing a run and having only 1 unlocked perk. And we have, I think, 13 perks. So that means that on the 7th run, you'd only unlock 1. So yeah, I guess this is Pige. But I wanted to see what the elapsed time of the runs are. I just don't know how to do that. SQLite, select a substring from a row. I don't know how you do this. All right, let's just use ChatGPT for this. So I have a SQLite database with a gigantic JSON blob containing elapsed time. I want to just find the elapsed time and not any other piece of the JSON. How do I do that? Hey, player. Yeah, I suspect. Oh, there's a JSON extract? Is that actually a thing? Wow, that's pretty impressive. All right, let's go try it. JSON extract. So the column name is, oh darn it, I don't actually know what it is. All right, well, we can look at server.py. It's run data, and we want to extract town dot, I guess this. Oh, nice. It tells you right up at the top. Oh, so we can just search for elapsed time. Wow, that's pretty cool. Time elapsed. Can we copy this? You can't? Seriously? Well, that doesn't help as much. town challenge on save data dot this dot time elapsed. So I put that in there. Error here. Oh, put it in quotes. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, nice. I didn't know about that. That's really cool. I should write this down. So this lets us get the elapsed time. So now let's look at this. And the people who only did one run, it took them 28 minutes? Really? Well, I don't know for sure that this is scenario number 1, actually. No, I do know that for sure, because we wiped out save files. No, wait. No, I don't know, because I gave one person a save file. So this could be Plum Yeti. Well, let's look at some of the other ones and just see, is there anything interesting here? 1650. That's like, well, I shouldn't estimate. Yeah, I was going to say that's about the same amount of time. Anything else? No, it's probably pretty good. Okay, let's write this down somewhere. Where do I have a metrics thing? Yeah, I have a metrics thing. Helpful commands. I want to write this in the SQLite note that I have. Do I even have a SQLite? I do. If you have a JSON blob stored in a column, you can extract JSON data quite easily. Just copy this. Town dot. I want to make like a realistic looking path here. Save data dot objective details dot time elapsed. I just have SQLite. Oh, nice. That works. Yeah. For example, I have a JSON blob like this. How do we render this and not have this be terrible? I don't know. I guess we do something like that. This won't be formatted correctly. Because it puts all the... wait, where does it put those? It puts them at the same level of the opening. Yeah, so I did this right. All right, so we paste this in here. And then we make this match. So this is just going to be save data, objective details, time elapsed. I can use this query to pull out just the number. Yeah, that's pretty neat. And then I might as well copy this to figure out how long each run took and put it into my metric server thing. Find out how long runs took. Create this from runs. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna make this look any better. I just want to know the general pattern for doing this. We can now actually use this to fetch anything. Like I could figure out the scenario number too, which is difficulty level. Where is that? There it is. It is in configuration save data. Yeah. So let's get the scenario number like that. JSON extract run data $sign dot that dot difficulty level. Nice. And yep, that was scenario number 3. So that probably had to be Plum Yeti. And then this is definitely Page. Page did the tutorial a bunch of times, so did 0 a bunch. And someone did scenario 11. Okay, this is, I think I know who this is because this had to be someone who modified a save file. I'm pretty sure at least, but I'm not positive. But they played for a good chunk of time there. They started at 11:11 and ended a few hours later. Huh. Okay, well, interesting. There was a reason why I did that, and now I don't remember. We need to make it more obvious on a battle portrait when the adventurer is unavailable to battle. The darkening of the background isn't as apparent. Include a JSON extract query in my README. Okay, so this happens in any mode. So we can just click continue over here. So if we unlock all the adventurers, this is what they look like when they're not in battle. When they are in battle, they have a slightly darkened portrait. And I wonder if we could make this more obvious somehow. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's good enough. I don't think people really recognize that. We could change the text color too. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I'll leave it as is for now. Yeah. Gonna leave this as is for now. Let's get a picture of this. Hey, Pies. Oh, man. Thank you again for playing the game, for streaming it. You messaged me, but actually, I had your stream open for the last like 2 days or something, so that when you started your stream, I would see it. And I happened to glance over. I didn't actually see your message to me until afterward. I'm like, oh, good, Skeleseller. I've got like 13 minutes to watch, and then I ended up having a little bit more time. But yeah, I rewatched the whole VOD yesterday, and I've got a bunch of notes. Not a ton actually, but little things like rename the tab, the buy perks tab. Yeah, some other little things. Some of these are not too controversial. And then, like you said, the keyboard shortcuts on the quick move menu, they probably should be changed so that they're in order of what you actually want to press. So that 5 is whatever you're going to press the least, which is maybe the warehouse. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, that should be good. Okay. So, what's next? When you only have the pond and it's full and you drag a potion to the extractor, it shows this instead of just a message about the pond. Yeah. Should probably restart. Turn it into botland. Unironically, best game. Yeah. I've kind of talked about this on stream before, and I don't know if you've heard me talk about this, but I think game expectations have changed so much in the last maybe like 15 years. There was a time when something like Ball X Pit would have just been the breakout part of the game, and there would be no town part, no like harvesting, no whatever else, no building, and people would have been happy with that. Would have been a standalone game, would have been fun. And now there's this extra thing in there that they had to spend a bunch of time developing and thinking of and make sure that that's fun. So that essentially, if you think about it, it's like 2 games in one. I think this happens with just a ton of different games now, and not even just the 2 games in one, but like 5 games in one or something. And that's kind of what I feel like Skeleseller has sort of become. We had story mode, and now we have this bone mode. Story mode was the sort of traditional idle-ish game, and now bone mode is like a roguelite RTS idle-ish. Yeah, maybe I put this over here. And I like the blend of mechanics. I think it's interesting. And it's obviously very close to story mode. It's still you're moving stuff around a town, you're battling, but it is almost like a totally separate game. And I don't think we could have just launched story mode and had people like the game. I think I would have needed to go into like typical idle territory where it takes 50 hours to beat the game. And yeah. Anyway, it's a little disappointing as a game developer because sometimes you do just want to explore one mechanic. And I feel like if you make a one mechanic game, you have to charge less than like $5 now. Feels like there's always new stuff to do. Yeah, and that's kind of why this happens. I especially see it in the mobile world where they just slap something on top of a game because otherwise you'd get bored of it. And actually, what's that Sonic Endless Runner game? Sonic Dash. I played this game a decent amount. I actually liked it. But I went back to it after some number of years. Because yeah, it came out a long time ago, and I think it's still running now. But it came out a long time ago, and now they've got some other thing on the title screen. It's like they're doing everything they can to keep people hooked and coming back and playing some more. And the other thing you need to do too, well, especially for microtransaction games, is you need to take whatever your progress would have been. So if you have, let's say you start playing in 2013 and this is 2014 and this is your progress in terms of percentage, you'll probably have a progress meter looking something like this, where it kind of levels off. So you get through the whole game. Maybe you got faster progress at first. Maybe this is more like a curve and looks something like that. But you get through the whole game in about a year. At some point, they need to slow everything down so that you have some new curve here, which looks like this. And I sort of felt this way with Ball X Pit when I was playing. I played for some small number of hours, maybe like 2 or 3. And I just felt like, man, progress is really incremental in this game. And it's done well. I think the game is done well. And it's obviously reviewed well too. It's just I think it could have also been turned into like a 10-hour game experience and people probably would have still enjoyed it. Hey, Goose. You had a mini game where we run and avoid cars and stuff and we use daily gems to play, but we can buy more gems with your money. Yeah, like I said, that's definitely happening just for only your version of the game. So I think what'll end up happening is like worldwide sales of Skeleseller will probably be somewhere around there. And then Page's version should probably make us like 3x the money because he'll be buying rubies to open chests and stuff. And that way we make 4x dollars. Okay, so what is this? If it's a potion, farm will accept item. If the farm won't accept the item and the fishing pond is null. The farm might not exist. Is there, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Is there a will accept item for, yeah, there is. Okay, so that's what we should do. Pool, pond will accept item. If not, pond will accept item, and we don't keep track of the farm, do we? Farm is null. Get invalid destination, pond full. Farm full is there. The, what do we say? The fishing pond already has the maximum number of fish. Yeah, maybe that's fine. I was just listening in the background, slightly embarrassed now. No, it's fine. He deserves none of your respect. Did I write get in there again? Yeah. Okay, let's go try that. So we got to pick a mode that does not have the farm by default. So this should be fine. And now we go build the pond. And then we fill the pond with stuff. And then we put another potion in, or try to at least, and it's going to fail. And it says the fishing pond already has the maximum number of fish. Cool. There are other things we could try here, like putting in a bow. And yep, that's fine. And then we should get the pond, or the farm. And now we try dragging this in, and it says the farm and the fishing pond are both full. Yep, and then we have one more little test case, which is what happens if you only have the farm and you try putting in too many items. I want that. There. The farm already has seats. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. After all the support I gave Botland. You sure gave it a lot of support. You're a real trooper there. So this could check to see if the farm exists, and if it doesn't, just return false immediately. Yeah, we could just do that. And then this doesn't need to be here. I'm not sure this is any better. And honestly, it's probably not going to make too much of a difference. Because this check is instantaneous. This check is instantaneous. Yeah. I think it just mimics what we do over here, which I think is slightly nicer. Yeah, fine. No, why am I doing this? There's no reason. Let's not do that. But the rest of this should stay. Show proper error message for pond plus farm. When you only have the pond and not the farm, and the pond is full, it used to mention the farm, since it the farm isn't required for bone mode though. So I've updated the error messages. All right, we're done with that. Grant storage. I believe there was a screenshot associated with this. Yeah, this was Glassfire who commented on this. And if I open this up, so yeah, this is what we see here. Grant storage. Now what I was thinking is we could just put the name of the perk in bold. Or maybe I should say unlock. Where's the word? Oh, word for grant. Oh, man. All right, so it says grant and then the name of the perk. We could say unlock. But then if a perk starts with unlock, then we're going to have a problem, I guess. Yeah, sure. Word for grant. Unlock. All right, let's go try this now. So we're going to do this to delete the save. Whoops, not that. Well, it doesn't really matter. cm save.json. And then rerun this. Yeah, these are some pretty quick to do items. And I'm happy that we've got some quick ones to get through. Especially on the last day before vacation. Okay. So we beat this. And now it says unlock farm crop value. Wait, what? Hold on. I think this is wrong. Yeah, I think this is worse. Allows the level up perk cost perk to show up during a run. Okay, first of all, allows the display name. That should be in bold. Second, I still don't like that this says unlock. I don't know what this should look like. And what if we just deleted this? So imagine this isn't here. And it just says allows the level up per cost perk to show up during a run. Yeah, and it just didn't have a title at all. Would that be fine? Let's try it. So I'm going to delete this and we're going to do just the description. Wait, that can't be right. No, that can't be right. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Hey, Dickett, how you doing? Yeah, this is what I intended to do. Is this good though? Allows the farm crop value perk to show up during a run. I think this looks a little bit nicer because there aren't two titles now. I'm doing pretty well. Tomorrow is the start of my vacation. I've got the morning planned for Skeleseller work and then the afternoon planned for a whole bunch of prep stuff. I haven't started packing. I have to clean a bunch of stuff. I have to do a bunch of things. Man. Okay, I actually do like this. I like this a lot. And now we don't have that grant problem. So what does it look like when you beat a scenario and you see this? You've unlocked these perks. I don't like this as you've unlocked these perks. Allows a power leveling perk to show up during a run. Okay, great. Yeah, whatever. Let's get all of them. Or at least the one that raises the max level of something. Where's that? Here it is. Increase well water max level. Increases the max level of well water. So now this has a title and the other one doesn't. Okay, let's do the same thing we did here. Increases the max level of, let's make this bold. So should this have a name? Maybe it shouldn't. Maybe that's dumb. Where's the name even show up? Get tooltip for unlock perk. Shouldn't this be a thing over here too? Ah, there it is. It's just going to be get ability description. So now we go take a look at this. All right, if this ends up being the case and I'm happy with how this looks, then I think we need to refactor some code here too. So it's not just string changes, because now I think we made things look kind of ugly. Let's see. Increases the maximum level of well water that will be offered to you during a run from 2 to 4. Yeah, I think this is good. I don't think they need titles, especially if these don't have titles. But this implies that all of these are only going to modify perks, in which case it probably does make more sense to call them meta perks. No, I think this is good for now. Yeah, I like this. Okay. Hey, Cakes, how's it going? Thanks for the raid. Were you in Next Fest just now? I welcome everyone. I love Cakes 77. TCAP, Cakes' his biggest fan. Howdy, everybody. This is the last stream I'm going to be doing for October. You had a demo? How'd it do? How did everything go? We are just tackling some to-do items that I have and just trying to be productive in any way. So I've been working on Skeleseller for about 1.5 years now, and it's been a very small team of people working on it. And the basics of this game is that you send adventurers into battle, and they fight automatically for you. So here we have our archer in the forest fighting a bat, and I'll speed this up a little bit. When they win the battle, they'll earn items. So we got a couple of cloaks and a couple of potions, and your workers will just automatically move items to shops for you, but you can also move them there if you want to. And then customers will come by and buy those things, and you use the money to upgrade your town and upgrade your adventurers. So eventually there's quite a lot of stuff going on, and you could choose to just let your workers do everything. I mean, right now, I'll just hack in some workers here. It's like, there, now we don't need to move items ourselves at all. So if this looks interesting to you, there is a demo, and it's about 2 hours long. It's a pretty extensive demo. And I am working on getting ready for launch, which should hopefully be Q1 of 2026. Yeah, thank you both. Yeah, a nice session tomorrow. Um, yeah, so what I've been working on lately, and I'll show this again here. So story mode is kind of what I just showed the demo for, although not really. But in this one, you follow through a pretty linear track. There's not a lot of replayability in here. So I made another mode entirely so that you could replay the game. So this has different scenarios and they start you with different things. So this one, for example, starts you with a full farm. So your farm is maxed out. You've got quite a lot of perks for it already. There are several of these. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to show off everything here, right? But and then in this mode, you unlock things randomly. So when I unlock a perk, instead of getting the specific one I want, I'm only presented with 3 of them. And maybe this one's great, but I don't have the thing for it yet, or maybe this isn't exactly what I want and I re-roll them. So typical roguelike stuff. And then the roguelite aspect of this specific mode, again, not the whole game, is that you can get these meta perks that'll accumulate and unlockables. So what we're doing right now is just figuring out what's the best way to render these, and I think this is pretty decent. There's a bolded name at the top, but it's not a title, and then we see the title of the original perk below it. I think this is good. Is there a hardcore mode for TCAP? All enemies are super hard. Do I comment on TCAP's gaming abilities? No, I don't. No, there's no hardcore mode or anything. In fact, one of the things that people have asked about quite a lot, they've asked about equipment or they've asked about a hardcore mode. I think hardcore modes make sense in some games. I don't think you can just slap it onto any game and have it work. So one of the things that people suggested for this game is, okay, what if you're playing through a game of Skeleseller, and anytime you lose a battle, so like let's say I send all my adventurers over here, they're gonna die. So you can see their life is getting chunked away here. And they were saying the typical hardcore thing, like what if, okay, the archer just died, it's dead for good now. And it's like, what does that do for this game? This game's already automated, so wouldn't you just start a battle in an earlier location, like the forest, where you know you can win, and just walk away from your computer? And yeah, I don't think it would be fun for this game. I think it's more fun for manually controlled games where if you don't dodge at the right time, you're dead, and you're like, oh, that was a result of me not doing the thing I needed to do. And even then, I think some games, it shoehorns in a hardcore mode. Like WoW ended up adding in a hardcore mode, and the game wasn't really designed for it. And in some ways, it wasn't designed for it in kind of a silly workaroundable way, like quests that require you to be dead. You obviously can't do that in a hardcore mode. So, okay, fine, they can work around that. But other little things like it's an always online game. So what happens if the servers go out and you're dead? And yep, too bad. That happened a bunch of times and a bunch of people died. And like, that's not a fun way to play hardcore either. Is there an easy mode for cakes? One where you don't have to do anything? Yeah, it's pretty much the game. It's a very, very casual, laid back game. So if you wanted to, I'll give you an example here. If you play any of these scenarios, so let's say we're on the farming scenario, I literally can do this. I can click this button and then this button. I will win now. I can just walk away from my machine. In fact, if I speed this up, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about here. It'll probably take a while, but the goal is to get 3,500 gold. I'm now not touching anything. I'm at 3 gold. I'm now at 6, now I'm at 9, now I'm at 12. This will just keep going up. You will eventually win. There's nothing stopping you. There's no lose condition. And if you do almost anything on top of this, like let's say you get another worker or something, then you'll go even faster. So yeah, the game is not intended to be challenging. In fact, I turn this off, I get money even faster. It's also Final Fantasy. It was originally inspired by Final Fantasy 1. I wanted to make a Final Fantasy 1 that had automated battles. Hardcore works better with one character or super large enemies. Small teams like that become tedious. Or super large teams. Even I think yeah, I think there are a lot of ways that it works, but I think for a game like this, part of the reason it doesn't work is you're not controlling anything. So like let's say there was only one character and it was just your rogue and you choose to send them into another location. Again, the way that almost everyone ends up playing a hardcore game is they play it very safely. And the way you play this safely is by just going to a location you know you can beat. And since every battle is going to be a battle I win now, why would I go to the next location where I might lose it until I'm certain that I can beat it? It makes it so hardcore is unplayable. Diablo's a little different. because Diablo, you can, well, at least the older Diablo games were completely offline. Like you could play Diablo 2 and there was no server connection you'd need. You could just play single player. So at that point, I think some of the annoyingness of a hardcore mode came from you might fight a pack of enemies that you had no chance of ever beating, or they might like strike you from super far away and kill you. But you could at least build around that a bit and play cautiously and yeah. Yeah, I mean not the last one. Yeah, yeah. That's online only. Although didn't they do something like they have some kind of like hardcore friendly potions where you drink it and you can't die or you my friend told me about something like this and I thought doesn't that defeat the purpose of hardcore? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Is that a thing? Hey Shade. Anyway, I think I played a tiny bit of Diablo 4, but I didn't play hardcore and I don't remember seeing those things for myself. Oh man. Okay, so get word for unlock. So we're just deleting this, which now means there is no reason for this function to exist, I'm guessing. Get tooltip for unlock perk. This is the same in both the base class and here. Let's take a look. Get tooltip for unlock perk. Is it the same definition every single time? It is. So this has no reason to exist. Unless this is protected, it is. Okay, well, whatever then. Although I guess that means that the other one has no reason to exist. Yeah. Diablo 2 online hardcore was a thing that was played to a great extent. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm not saying you can't have an online game. And in Diablo, I don't know how frequently the servers would cause a person to lose their character. In World of Warcraft, it happened somewhat often. Also, a Diablo 2 speedrun is much, much faster than a World of Warcraft speedrun. So, like, imagine losing 10 hours versus 50 hours, just as an example. I know you can play a Diablo 2 character for 50 hours, and I know that getting to level 99 is nuts. If you make another game, will it also be in Godot? Do you like Godot? I like Godot. Yeah, I would probably make my next game in Godot as well. The plan, at least at a high level, because it's based on a lot of conditionals that I can't predict yet, is work on Skeleseller until launch. Launch should be Q1. And then if it does well, support it for some time. And then regardless of whether it did well, make a new game. And I have an idea for a new game, and it's going to be a single player, like, adventure comedy game. Happens quite often to die because of the server being too slow. Yeah. Yeah. The only have I played any other hardcore games? I tried WoW Classic in hardcore, and my only conclusion is I was just bored to tears. It was such a bad experience because it's an MMORPG, but in order to play in a 5-person group, it means you have 4 risks with you. So at some point I just stopped grouping up because I'm like, I'm too high a level, I don't want to die. And then I couldn't do group content, so now I was barred from doing whatever, let's say like a third or a half of the content. And that's also the way you get the best gear. So I didn't have a way to get any better gear. And I just ended up quitting. I couldn't handle it anymore. It was too boring. So yeah, I don't personally get the appeal. I understand why other people like it. Voiceover from Stanley Parable would be great for a single player RPG comedy game. Yeah, actually, I was thinking about this a lot. So Undertale kind of fits that genre that I was talking about. It's single player. It's kind of a comedy game. It's an adventure. Yeah, there's some other mechanics in it too. But the comedy is all done through text, not voice. And there's some visual gags too, but I wonder how much patience people have with this nowadays. Like if Undertale launched now and there was no other game like it, would it still be successful? I guess the question is kind of answered by Deltarune. Was Deltarune successful? I assume it was. Yeah, it was. So yeah, that was my concern because you can write out text. You can probably voice over it yourself or get some voice actors, but can you do it for every single language you might have? And that's what makes it difficult. As an indie dev, at least. Okay. So I think we're good. Let's go test this one more time. All right. I want to take a look at these. Yeah, these all look good. All right. I like this a lot. So improved meta perk tooltips. Oh, wait. Unlocked perks, not meta perks. These are all the same, right? Yeah. Unlocked perk tooltips. So previously, the ones that would grant a perk had the tooltip, had the title grant perk name. And one of the perk names was grant storage. So it would show grant storage. This wasn't a huge problem on its own, but it made me realize that we have 2 titles per tooltip and probably shouldn't. I've simplified the tooltips a bit, bolded the ability names, and yeah, that's it actually. Oh, that's pretty much it. Yeah, cool. All right, done with that. Next up, maybe make the new CM dialog into a tabbed container on its own with new runs, new run and perks tabs. Make it easier navigating between them. Yeah, by the way, is this something that you can... Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking, and this is a little bit hard to render without me like fully drawing this out. So I'll try to approximate it, but I think it's going to be pretty easy to understand what I'm getting at once I start doing this. So what I'm thinking is we shift these. Let me do this. Okay, so we take, I'll put this in red, I guess. We take this and we slide this to the right just a little bit. And then we add in another tab over here. That would be like, I don't know, new. And then that tab would be this content. So all of it would be inside of a tabbed container. And it starts on the new tab or whatever we call it, new run or something. And that way to go see your upgrades, we just delete this entirely, I think. Maybe, actually. We probably want to render your upgrade points somewhere. I'm not sure where. I don't know about this. I kind of want... Okay, well, I don't know about that part. But the rest of this, I think, would look better in a tabbed container. And that way you only have one of these things popping up. I guess your upgrade points will always show over here too. And we could probably change the tab title to include how many points you have. But is this a good idea? Because I don't want to do this and then realize like, oh, this is stupid. I think I like it better. Yeah, I think I like it better. Now, with that said, I think I still want to hold off for a bit. Excuse me. So let's just include pictures of this stuff. So here's picture number 1. And then picture number 2 is this. Well, I guess we don't really need a picture for this. I could just write to delete it. And we could cross this out even more. Christmas cross out. There we go. So I want to hold off on this one for just a little bit because that's going to be a bit more involved. And I want to make sure we have time to get through other stuff. All right, power leveling should produce a notification saying something like power level the witch doctor from 1 to 4. How do we even do this? power leveling. Does this have the town in here? It does. Oh, well, look at that. Oh, this is going to be very easy. Here, Rafi. Okay, so we want to do town.create ephemeral notification. Now, what does this take in? Text and a color. All right, color should be green. And notification text, we're going to have to make. Okay, so we're going to say power leveled the display name from level old level to new level. Yeah. Okay. Now we get, where is lowest level? I guess that's going to be this. And then new levels is going to be lowest level plus num battle perks. And then the display name is going to be all adventure data dot get, where's the adventure class? We don't have their class. We just have adventure. Does this have a class? Nope, it's in a component. It doesn't have a display name or anything either, does it? Nope. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, hey, there it is. Look at that. Adventure class equals that. Then we go take this down to here and this over to that. Okay, let's go try that out. But in order to try this, we need to go unplug all the other perks that can get generated. So I just want, why is power leveling not there? Oh, it's unlocked? Oh, man. Okay, then I guess we delete every single one of these. Thankfully, I've already unlocked everything. So I don't need to go through that. And now let's see. So I'm going to make a new game. It doesn't really matter what we click here. So we have just the mage, and I'm going to just keep buying perks until we get power leveling. There it is. Okay, your lowest level adventure will be given 1 level of perks. So it should, when I click this, say power level the mage from level 1 to level 2, except for I had to put bold in there. All right, so that's what that looks like. I don't like the bright green. I don't know what we use for other colors here. What do we use for that? Colors.green. There's notifier.error color. There must be an info color. Yeah. B. Let's use that. AJ. Yeah, I should make it like a toxic green. We should require you to only play on a monitor that can support a green that actually hurts your eyes to see. Okay, and then I think I want this to be bold. Although I guess at that point it's just format number. BB code functions, format number. Also, I am sick of this. I'm going to make a format number that takes in a number. Should not be hard to do. Format number. So how do you, what's a C#? Oh, right, just like that. Nice. Format number T number. That's exactly what I want. But now, why does it say possible null reference? Because this, wonder how you'd make it not do that. Yeah, huh. Like, there's no way to say that I want this to be of a concrete type. I guess if it doesn't have a value, we could just return nothing. If number is null, return string.empty. Whoops, that was supposed to say is. Possible null reference. How is that? What? How is that still the case? I'm confused. Is there like a has value or something here? No? How are you supposed to do this? ToString can return null? Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, Well, then that explains that. Okay, good. So yeah, number 2 string, question mark, string dot empty. Okay. I guess let's just do this. And then if it's empty here, if toString is null, then return string dot empty. Otherwise, return that. And let's, I guess, just combine this. There. Okay. That should fix a whole lot of things, which I'm going to need to go look at that at some point. Yeah, thank you, ABC. All right, so now it'll be in bold and also in gray. So we do one of these, and we go find that perk again. So the real scenario here is you might have a whole bunch of different adventurers. So it says takes your lowest one and raises them by some number of levels. So here we have 2 that are a higher level, so it can't pick those. But the other 8 are all level 1. And up until now, you just had to kind of guess which one would it be. But when we finally find this perk, I can show you. Power leveling, here we go. Your lowest level adventurer will be given 5 level up perks. Yeah, so power level the golem from level 1 to 6. And now we go look at the golem, and sure enough, they're level 6. Cool. I like it. All right, so we want to check in this and this. Level 6 golem. Imagine if Frodo was trying to make it to the, what was it, Mount Doom? There was a level 6 golem there. He'd never make it. Yeah, nice. Show notification on power leveling. Also finally made an overload for format number that actually takes a number. Face palm. There. Haven't watched it. I was told I'm a bad nerd. Well, I suggested Thai food to you and you didn't like it. So I'm not going to suggest Lord of the Rings to you, but it is my favorite trilogy of all time. Best trilogy, Lord of the Rings. Second best, The Matrix. Now you might say, wait, The Matrix isn't just a trilogy, but yes, it is. And I'm one of those turbo nerds that actually likes all of the Matrix trilogy, and not just the first one. But I watched the 4th one, Resurrections, and hated it. Absolutely hated it. That was a garbage movie. What did that get on IMDb? It is sitting at 5.6. I think that's too high. The Matrix is just a single film? No, I disagree. I think it's a trilogy. Okay, so now anywhere else that we had format number, we should go change. Assuming we did a .toString afterward. How would we search for this? I guess with this .star toString. And then click, click, click. And all of these should probably be changed. Yeah. Have you read the books as well? Tried reading them? It was boring as heck. I read, I think, 1.5 of the Lord of the Rings books. And yeah, they're super boring in my opinion. I did try the audiobook after reading the like 1.5 books I got through. I did an audiobook for the first one. And I will say that was more enjoyable. I think that's how Tolkien intended for them to be. But was like books he would read to his kids or something. That's at least what I remember reading about. So then being an audiobook kind of made me realize like, oh yeah, okay, this is better verbalized. But even then it was like really long and slow. I remember, I think it was during the pandemic that I was listening to these. So I was running around my city a lot because gyms weren't open and I still wanted to stay fit. So I became a runner and I listened to Lord of the Rings for what felt like 5 years. And what was funny too is whenever you've seen the movie version of something first and then you go to the book version, you typically have a picture of like, oh yeah, here's where this happens in the movie. Here's what actors were playing this character. With Lord of the Rings, I felt like I was listening, I was running for hours before they got out of the Shire. Just crazy. Hey Sarah. Man, telling me about how hairy the Hobbit's feet are for 2 pages. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Now, the other thing I thought was kind of interesting is Fight Club. The movie is identical to the book, like almost line for line. I've never seen a closer adaptation between movie and book. It's nuts. And now I'm rereading Game of Thrones. I almost refuse to watch the show at this point. I've only seen a tiny bit of the of season 8, which was apparently like the worst season. And yeah, I did not think it was good. But apparently the early seasons are fantastic. But even then I'm thinking like, I should probably just skip it. It's like, would you want to watch a show that you know is going to end terribly? That everyone hated and that basically killed all of everyone's hype for it? And yeah, I just don't feel like I want to. Why did I have to click run search for this? Oh, that's strange. All right, well, this should simplify a bunch of code. It's not going to really cut down on number of lines anywhere, but at least make it look a little bit neater. This is an int. If I was going to do that, I probably should have just done toString 0. Oh, it's already an int? No, it's a float. Why does it say this is unnecessary? Oh, the extra parentheses are unnecessary. Sure. Saw this meme yesterday. You may enjoy it. That's pretty good. I know what's going on for this. This one I don't think I care about. Although, why is toString even showing up for this? Oh, it's the one up here. It just didn't update the number. If it's doing math.floor, isn't toString 0 pointless on this? I think it is. I'm not certain math.floor can ever produce a truncation error. But we should probably just be safe about it and just type int here. Yeah, sure. Okay, let's keep going through these. At least this is very mechanical and we're almost done. So this is also math.floor, overflow keys, format number toString, and then cumulative money earned is a long. Yeah, so we can delete this. Okay. As long as it's build, I think we should be fine. Hey, Codex. Doctor Who. Isn't Doctor Who like 400 seasons at this point? Whoops. Didn't they start making that TV show in like the 1400s? Doctor Who. Seasons. 26. Wait, no, what? I don't understand. They have two different things on the Wikipedia page. Number of seasons, number of series. I thought those were two words for the same thing. I guess it's post reboot. That means there are 41 seasons versus original. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Doctor Who. But I did see Community. I know all about Blorgons. All right, so what is this perk? Grant higher level of perk. Okay, as long as this looks good, I think we're fine. Yeah, nice. Heard mixed things about it. When you say newest one, you mean the newest season? Or were there like 3 different incarnations of this thing? How do I see all of this without huh? It's weird. I don't know what just happened there. Yeah, this is good enough, I guess. I'll just scroll. I could just turn off word wrap. I guess I should do that. Oh, you can't do that here? Okay, guess I won't do that. Could also just shrink the editor a bit. But I think there's very low risk in any of this stuff going wrong. Worst case scenario, we show a decimal where there shouldn't be a decimal. Someone discovers it. We fix the bug. Yeah, I don't think this is a big deal. Int format. Yeah, cool. Okay. Use format number that takes a number. I had been calling .toString all over the place just to prevent having to overload the function that I just overloaded in the prior commit. All right, this is done. There's yet another reboot. The Dark Thailand episode of the Dice. I really like Community. I'm watching Parks and Rec again right now. I also really like that show. Although I did skip directly to season 3 when I started this time. I didn't want to deal with the first 2 seasons. Probably be able to hover over this to see the challenge parameters. I don't really think you should be able to anymore. I'm gonna delete this. Yeah, I don't know who would even care. Most people don't even look at this. I don't think most people would look at this, and there are 2 other spots in the game already where you can see that information. By the way, there's a shortcut I wanted to add, which we're gonna go add now. And it is for OA, and it's gonna be one another. There. Okay, battle perks show this when you don't have the adventurer, but perhaps the background should be red, like when they're in battle. Easier to spot and is more consistent. Also lets us use the space where that was to denote guild level or something. Yeah, I like this idea. Not the thing about reusing the space, but the part about showing them red. So let's go take a look at that. We just need to get a level up perk. So let's save this and then do this. So yeah, we show exclamation marks now. We could still show that, but I think we also should darken the background and turn it red. So how hard will that be to do? Well, this is perk with adventure, and there's a party member there, and there's some way to make this look like it's in battle. Where's that? Does reflect battle state. Yeah, we just set the modulate here. So we could force this modulate. Yeah, so I could do this here. Public void force reflect battle state. Pool is in battle. And then just put this line of code here. Easy. Okay, now we got to call that. So where do we do that? Force update level label. Where do we set whether you have this thing or not? Has hired. What does this do? Unspent points indicator. So I want to do this here too. Force reflect. So if you haven't hired them, it's going to be like you're in battle for this. Yeah, that should do it. Still love a color code system for town perks. I still don't know. I don't know how we'd make it clear with town perks, because we'd have to categorize them somehow. And first of all, I don't know what the categories would even be. I guess it'd be things like maybe farm, maybe we do it by building. But they're not all by buildings. Because there are some like employee discount, which affect workers. And there are some like customer speed, which affect customers, of course. And then probably other little things. So you'd end up with, there are 6 buildings, and then there's workers and customers. Maybe you call that like one extra category. So you'd have 7 colors. Would it even help at that point? I think color coding stuff is good when you have a small number of colors and you can very quickly tell. Or that you see them everywhere in the game, maybe. Just be yellow for economy, yeah. Well, First, let's try the thing that I just did and see if that's looking good. So now when I go to hire or get a level up perk, it shows red indicating you don't have them. Is that too much? I don't think so. It does let you see at a glance which ones you have, which is pretty nice actually. I'm going to try this. Let's keep it like this for now. We could make it look a little bit more subtle and not like fully dark in the red there. We can make it closer to white. But it does stand out, and at a glance you can very easily tell which ones you have already. So I can like quickly hire, yeah, anytime I get a choice like this. Yeah, that's kind of nice. I like that. Okay, yeah. It's clearer than the exclamation mark. And the exclamation mark lets you know that you can hover over this to see what that means. So I think I'm pretty happy with that. Make it more obvious when you don't have an adventure. When you haven't hired someone. Does that fit? No. Just make it obvious when you haven't hired someone. So for level up perks, we show an exclamation mark when you don't have that adventure. But now we also darken the background as though they're in battle. This really makes it stand out that you don't have that adventure. Cool. Did we use duplicated instance data for challenge mode, or did we just override items that can drop? If it's the latter, perhaps we should do what we did for item data and just override one property. I think we actually changed things. I think we changed difficulties, right? Isn't the deep forest totally different now? Here's the story mode deep forest. And here's the bone mode deep forest. They're different, right? That stuff's all the same. Cost unlocked doesn't matter. Next instance doesn't matter. So I guess it's just the enemies. 7 slimes. And then, yeah, 5 skeletons instead of 3. And then we also changed the loot. I don't know how often we'll do this. But since we've done it, I guess I'm just going to cross this off. At least for... We might have done it in other places. It's not worth finding. Yeah, I'll just say at least for the deep forest. We also changed the enemies that are there. So I don't think we need to do any refactoring for this. Also, it's not like it's gotten unwieldy or anything. Prevent a perk reroll from giving exactly the same options. Yeah, fun. Fun, fun, fun. All right, so where's rerolling happen? Rest. I'm going to reload this. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. Here's a naive implementation of this. We store our old choices, and we just keep calling generate choices until we have a new set. And we try 5 times, and if after 5 times it fails, then you're just exceedingly unlucky. And you're going to get the same choices. Or it means you were forced to get those same choices. So when you only have 3 things in the pool, you can only generate those 3 things. So we'll try generating 5 times for no reason. The smarter way of doing this would be, well, there are a couple different things we could do, but still, I think that the naive implementation is fine for this. So how does this work? We free all children. We call add choice. We don't ever generate new ones. Re-rolled perks. What? I'm confused. Oh, generates right here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So we need to know which ones you already had. And that's in perk choice tracker. Why is this not already a town perk choice tracker? We have that right there. Yeah, so I don't need to ever do this. Yeah, this will simplify the code a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Oh, this is not the task I was trying to do. So let's make sure it builds, check this in, and then get to the task I wanted to do. I'd like to do another release today. It's about 10 a.m. I've got probably about 2 hours. So that's enough time to do a release, fix another like 4 or 5 small things. What am I doing here? I am gonna go re-roll perks, I guess. Yeah, okay. Just making sure that didn't break. Refactor code slightly. Yeah, I'm not even gonna write what this is. It's kind of pointless. Okay, commit that. All right, so now we get into the actual naive implementation I talked about. So we have the town perk choice tracker, and this thing knows where are the perks. Oh, there, it's in perk choice tracker. Perk choices, got it. So it knows which perk choices you have. So I want to get just the IDs. And I wonder, where'd that reroll thing go? Where did it go? How did I lose this? I think it's this file. Yeah, there it is. So hash set of ability IDs current perks is going to be equal to the town perk choice tracker dot perk choices dot select each ability. Okay, so that's a current set. And then after generating it, we're going to get the new set. Or maybe we call it old and new. Old perks, new perks, rerolled perks. And then how do you check hash set equality? Check if two hash sets are equal. I know a bunch of ways we could do this. I just don't know if there's something built in for this. Use built-in set equals. Oh, okay. Easy. All right, so what do we want to do? Bool should repeat equals, or should generate equals true, while should generate. Oh, and maybe like num attempts is 0, and num attempts is less than 5. Doesn't need to be a lot. Also, what's kind of nice about this is the only way for us to hit 5 attempts is either incredible luck or unluck, depending on how you call it, or that you have such a small number of choices that generating new ones shouldn't be a big deal. In fact, let's say this is 3. I guess this does mean, oh, I should probably figure out the chances of this. I don't really care too much. And there we have it. That's it. That's all we have to do. And then let's do that. And we're good. So how do we test this? Oh, same thing here. Let's make this into a function. Yeah, let's make this into a function. Town perk choice tracker inherits from perk choice tracker, and we're gonna go make this public hash set of, I guess it can't be ability IDs. So I guess this does need to go into the town one. Yeah, so hash set of ability IDs, and what do we call this? Like perks presented equals perk choices dot select. Why is this not working? Now reference non-static. What? I didn't make this static though. I don't see what's wrong here. Oh, wait. Oh, I see. I meant to put a thing there. Yeah, my bad. Forgot a greater than sign. Okay, so now we go back to wherever that file was that I had to select. I guess it's this one. And we go back to the code, old perks here. And we set this equal to town perk choice tracker dot perks presented. And then same thing here. Then delete the extension we used. Hey, Boolean, how you doing? I think I saw you in Tim's stream today. Were you there today? And then I just want to rename this. Perks presented doesn't really make any sense. This is like perk IDs being presented. Perk IDs presented. I don't know, something like that. And this is just used for comparing equality. You were? Okay, yeah. I'm proud of myself for remembering. Well, welcome to my stream now. All right, so this code will hopefully work. I don't know how we test this. I guess we delete a bunch of perks from the pool so that it's more likely we'd find the same ones. The thing is, it doesn't even stop us from finding the same ones. So I guess what we need to do is see how many times we generate a new one. Oh, also should generate never. Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, so if should generate, then we'll print this out. Rerolled perks are exactly the same as before. Oh, we just didn't even check the right thing. So we're re-rolling again. Okay, so yeah, they're exactly the same. Then we generate them. All right, let's go try this. So I should delete my save file and then rerun. Hey, okay. All right, so as mentioned, it's going to be impossible for us to tell that this worked or didn't work by looking at it. So all we're doing is making sure that every once in a while it prints this out, I guess. So I click buy, we click reroll. It did generate a new set of perks. By the way, these two stayed the same. That's still technically okay. But it did so the first time. Oh, I also should give myself more reroll tokens. Reroll tokens. We set it to 2. Let's set it to 2,000. And I'm just going to keep clicking this button until we see that message print out. I don't know what the odds are. I think I have 8 perks in the pool. So the odds that you pick any 3 again would be... Oh, God. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't care to figure that out. We're just going to click the button a bunch. But every single time I click this, they should be different. There is a very, very slim chance that they're the same. Okay, this isn't printing out at all, which means we should probably just pick some of these. So let's pick some, get one of the perks out of the pool. So far, I have not done that because we have to max out one of these things. I'm out of money now. There. So now I can reroll and we'll have one fewer perk in the pool. There we go. Rerolled perks are exactly the same as before, so we're rerolling again. So we got 1 attempt. Do we ever get to the point where it shows 2? It's already pretty rare. It's like a 1 out of what, 20, 30, 40? It's like a 2% chance that they're identical. Okay, then let's pick some more of these and get another perk out of the pool. Come on. There, 1 more perk is out of the pool now. Wait a second. Oh, I think this is a bug that no one's ever going to notice or care about, so it's probably not worth fixing. Yeah. We just beat the scenario, so now this perk we unlocked can show up immediately. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, like I said, that's not worth fixing. So I'm not even going to write that down. But yeah, there are those perks. Okay, so now we do this again and we re-roll. And now it should happen a little bit more frequently. There's 1. There's 2. 3, 4. Okay, so it's 1 out of every like 10 times maybe. Which means that for it to show twice in a row would be about a 1% chance. So let's go get yet another perk out of the pool. There. Okay, and now I'll reroll. Okay, now it's happening very frequently. And I want to see 2 of these print at once. 2, we should see that jump by 2. 1, 1. There, 2. Okay. So it rerolled twice. So it is possible. How many perks do we have in the pool? Max customers, Swift Shoes, customer speed, cloning. And different adventure limits. Let's get rid of that one. Surprised this doesn't happen that frequently. All right, let me think about this. What are the odds? We have 4 perks in the pool. So there's a 25% chance for a perk to not be there. So there's a 1 out of 4 chance to generate the same perks. Then a 1 out of 16 to generate them again, or like twice. And then a 1 out of 64 to generate them 3 times. So it is possible, but it's very, very, very rare because you need to be down to 4 perks. And to even get to this point, I don't think you're going to be re-rolling very much. If it re-rolls additionally for you, it doesn't deduct another token. No, it does not. Yeah. Hey, Shaky. Yeah, so if I click the re-roll button, this will always drop by 1. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with this. I think this is working well, so let's go check it in. So we do not check in this. And we don't check in that. Oh, where'd that go? It jumped on me. And then the rest of this looks good. And we don't do this. Okay, try to prevent re-rolls producing same results. Re-rolling town perks will now try up to 3 times to re-roll again without costing a token if you got the same result. Yeah, because I gotta say, it was pretty frustrating if you had, let's say, like 40 choices in the pool and you click re-roll and you get exactly the same set of 3 the second time. This essentially prevents it. It's not guaranteed, but it essentially does. I really like the idea, and this is not that idea, but I really like the idea of, let's say you have like 1 million players, and let's say you have a, like a, I don't know, yeah, like a 1 out of 1 million chance of something happening. One of your players should have that thing happen. And with bugs, this happens a lot where there's a small chance of a bug and there's a small chance you had 2 bugs in a row. But what if it was something intentional? And what if it was something like, I guess games have certainly done this before. There was something in Super Mario RPG about this. Oh, what was it? Oh, man. I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't Super Mario RPG. Anyway, imagine like what if you started with invincibility or something in the game. I think it'd be cool to do that. If it happens and you deserve it, yeah, those perks are the ones you need to pick then. Okay, so this is maybe the slightly more controversial thing that I wanted to do. Here's what I was thinking. Normally, you have to beat story mode for bone mode to show up. But what if you install your game or install the game on a friend's computer, they just bought it for the first time, and you're like, I really want to show you this mode. Could we have something in the settings that just said like beat story mode, unlock bone mode? And you click it and it's like, are you sure you want to do this? And you click it and it says, are you really, really sure you want to do this? You really should play through story mode. And you click yes and it unlocks bone mode. So that's what I was thinking. But I don't think it's worth doing this because everyone who looks through the settings might eventually see that. And then they might be confused about what that is. So yeah, I think we just X this out. If this ever does become a concern, we could add a special keyboard shortcut in the game, like F12, or like key combo, I guess. Keyboard combo in the game, like F12, F12, F11, F12. That would spawn a dialogue for this. But I don't think it's worth doing. Consider whether money caps in the regular game are even needed beyond the first boss. Who cares if you idle through the whole game now? Yeah, this is frustrating me more than anybody else. But the idea was this: when you start a new game, the most money you can have is 150, and it says max money reached, defeat the next elite to increase the maximum. This is really just kind of a tutorial thing, because once you do go beat the next elite monster, so like let's say I do this and I beat this, now the maximum money is, I think, pretty much infinite, or at least high enough that no one should ever hit it. I'm not gonna click this another million times. Let's just go look at what it is in the code. Max money, max gold. Huh. Money limits. Here it is. Yeah, so it's this. What is that number? It's 100 million. So 100 million may as well be infinite in this game. And yeah, you jump from 150 as your max to 100 million. Hey, Matt. So is there a reason to even have 150? I think so. Yeah, I think there is. I'm just going to cross this out. We jump from 150 gold to 100 million gold. And I think that's still reasonable. There was one YouTuber I reached out to, and it was the most bizarre playthrough I'd ever seen. They started a new game. They had a lot of jump cuts in their video, so it was impossible to tell how they did this exactly, but they ended up unlocking the farm, and they only had 4 adventurers, and they got them all to level 20, which I tried to figure out how long that would take, and I think it's about 17 hours if you're playing, like actively playing. And if you're not actively playing, it's probably something like 30 hours. And they got all of their characters maxed out and like hadn't even taken on the volcano, I think. And it's just so strange to me. And I asked them, like, did you have fun playing it that way? And they said, yeah, I'm not sure I would have been as engaged if I'd played manually. And I thought maybe they assumed that the game would take 30 hours. But then after they got to the max level, they just went through each location, beat them all, and then they were like done. It seems so bizarre. My natural assumption was that maybe they cheated, which I don't, if someone's having fun and they buy the game and they cheat, whatever, I don't care. But they made a YouTube video about it, and I was just like, man, this is so strange. How they get to level 20, they at least claim that they just idled. So they had the farm running. Like I don't know what they did. I suspected cheat engine. Yeah. Cap level the same way you cap money. Well, that's the thing. If you have fun playing that way, then why should I stop you from playing that way? I don't think it's fun, and I don't fully believe the person. I think they probably did cheat because it's just so bizarre. And the other thing too is like the way the game mechanics work is if you do have an adventurer that's just battling over and over and over and over again. So like if let's go get auto battling. So yeah, let's say we do this and we turn this on. Your skeleton is going to try bringing the potions to the extractor and then to the shop. So let's speed this up. Like I'm not even sure they get wisdom sludge. So these crops are going to eventually grow. They're bringing potions there, but the mage is winning fast enough that they never harvest the crops. So they would have had to manually harvest these crops every once in a while themselves, and they did this for like 17 hours. I just don't believe it. Hey Rohit, it's going well. How are you doing? Idlers will do literally everything possible. If it were purely idleable, I would think that that's true, but I don't know if you can purely idle this. Anyway, it doesn't matter whether they cheated or not. Yeah, I don't. It's just one person. Maybe they're happy playing something else if the grinding happened. Yeah, I'm just not sure how the grinding could have happened. Because like I said, they haven't harvested a single crop, right? And maybe if you get, oh, they got one. Although that's possibly due to the new logic I added where they have a 5% chance to preempt anything else. So if I had them put all the potions in here, then it might happen. I'm curious. I want to see if this is the case. Or maybe they were playing on the rogue and the rogue is slightly slower or something. In one more potion, we'll have 2 workers. There. So now, do they ever go? Yeah, they do go harvest. Okay, so that it is possible, I guess. They would have had to do this. They didn't have the pond. No, they didn't have the pond. They had a maximum of 4 adventurers, so they hadn't even beaten the dragon. And they got to level 20 on every single one of them. Which most people, even the people who like really want to play the game, don't get to level 20 because of how long it takes to get there. Like the amount of sludge it takes, 650 to get to this, 800, 850, 1,000. It eventually cost 2,000. And they went through all of that cumulatively. Oh man, I should find that video again and see if I can conclude anything else about this. Look up their Steam profile. I don't even... Can you see that for anybody? If you could do that for anybody, maybe I should check. I'm going to write this down. Look into the person that may have cheated. Can I find their Steam profile? Yeah, if it's at the public. All right, I'll maybe take a look. It doesn't really matter too much, though. All right, so format perk for battle perk choice. Let's go take a look at this. There is no format perk. Maybe it was just 2-string. Perks dot select 2-string. Do we override it? We do. Haste perk. Oh, nice. Okay. I don't think we need to do anything here. This is already done. Easy peasy. Played Pokemon Blue. Didn't understand that I needed to go back to Professor Oak. Spent a lot of time in the starting location, leveling my Pokemon to level 30 or something. And I accidentally returned to Oak. The rest of the game is super easy. Yeah, but imagine if you got to level 99 without going to Professor Oak. Yeah, the rest of the game would have been trivial. Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this mechanic now. Like, just the mechanic of grinding in a game. So I've kind of wanted to try Final Fantasy Tactics because I played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and I liked it a lot. And apparently Final Fantasy Tactics is even better than Advance. But you can grind in that game, and it makes me wonder how much is necessary, how much is trivializing the game for yourself. And I don't like that tightrope necessarily. Process dialectics feedback from, oh, this is pretty recent. Hey, Liquidor. Liquidor, I dropped into you fighting some boss in World of Warcraft, and I think your team wiped, but I was rooting for you. You were playing your warrior. I didn't follow a speck of what was happening. It looks so different from what I was used to seeing. But I hope you eventually beat the boss. All right, I'm just going to take a picture of this. Maybe this is a dumb idea. Wait, what? No way? Yeah. Also, are there no like battle revives anymore in Modern WoW? Druids used to have it, but no one was reviving anyone else in the battle. Gonna take more weeks. That's funny. Didn't expect anyone to watch. Yeah, I didn't announce my presence or anything. Monk definitely has it. Yeah, he had a couple monks in the group, I think, if that's what light green is. Yeah, I think that's what light green is, or turquoise or whatever. All right, decided to play a couple rounds on Steam Deck last night. Ran a couple minor things I thought I would share. Let me say first, I had no major issue. Required a fair bit of customization. Default mouse config works well out of the gate as a starting point. First is that when you start 3 battles, the third will go off the screen, capture a screenshot. So I was playing with the screen size to mimic the Steam Deck. The third window is very easy to completely hide. Quick move menu displays beneath the battle windows. This is probably an issue. Yeah, this is probably an issue. This guy on screen. Oh yeah, sorry. Let me make this a little bit more palatable for everybody else. There. Let me blur the icon too, just in case people can tell. There, now no one will know. Make sure the quick move menu doesn't render beneath battle windows. See this message. There we go. Hey, Clonk. How goes it? Because you want to keep them dead early on in the fight, or they'll struggle extra. Can battle res them later. Gotcha. Wow. Yeah, I wonder what it would take for me to enjoy an action RPG again that's multiplayer. And that's kind of like what WoW is at this point. It's like a multiplayer action RPG, I feel. And I think the answer is friends who are invested in it. Because yeah, I've played Diablo 2 a whole bunch. I really like the game, but now whenever I go back to it, I'm not like inviting friends to play with me. So eventually I'm like I'm playing in a sea of strangers. I'm leveling up for no reason. I've done this a million times before and I end up getting bored. The Fellowship game, which is just the dungeon part of WoW. Yeah, I've heard about that game. I don't remember where I'd heard about it. And WoW itself is coming out with player housing or something this year, right? I wonder how people are going to like that. Sounds like an interesting thing. What was I doing? Oh yeah, looking through the feedback. This is why I keep notes. Okay, controls. I don't think you need to spend too much time on this, but some defaults would be great since there are more handhelds beyond the Steam Deck. I'm sure this would go a long way. Alternatively, customizing controls and community layouts does fix this without any work. Do you have more input into this, Xyletics? When you say some defaults, are you talking about like, yeah, I don't know, like a harvest crop button or something? General thoughts. Only had the chance to play 2 rounds on Steam Deck. Game overall is feeling really good. Decided to play my second run until everything was nuts and was enjoying it. Treasure room changes feel good as well. Ramp up from base treasure to fully upgraded one. Generally feels like the right and rewarded curve. Feels like an add-on. Yeah. Yeah, the pond and the treasure room both kind of feel like add-ons. Then I think we can just add more perks at some point. But okay, cool. Okay, so I think I've processed this. And I think we've got a new thing over here, which I already filed, right? Yeah. In fact, maybe I should just copy the, excuse me, the picture from here. Copy image. Hopefully this works. I'm not actually confident this will work. Good, okay. Yeah, Discord every once in a while has some weird, like, you can't copy the image or something. I don't know what. I was making the biggest change since almost 20 years. All the add-on devs are in shambles. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I actually think that's a good change, at least from an outsider's perspective. My take on it is this. Wait, sorry, I gotta close tabs before I can share my take on it. There's an arms race between mechanics designers and add-on developers. So you make a mechanic like stay out of the fire. An add-on dev like plays a blaring siren when you're in the fire and shows an arrow of where to move. So now this is trivialized and you need to like you add another mechanic so that there's too much to pay attention to. And you keep doing this arms race until finally people can't even do the dungeons without having a million add-ons. And also at that point you're basically just being told what to do at any given point. So it's like is it fun? So I think if they limit what add-ons do, they can start introducing mechanics that you actually have to pay attention to. I think people would still find it fun. They're not having fun. The cat and mouse thing, add-on versus boss battles, has been an issue for 15 plus years. Yeah, it sounds like a good change. They make me much less interested in playing modern WoW as a semi-invested player. Well, I'd say see how it shakes out first, because I guess it all comes down to like where is the fun in a game. And like I kind of wonder how many people play modern WoW now at a high level with no add-ons, because I bet that number is probably like approximately 0. But I don't know what at a high level means. I haven't played the game. I haven't played modern WoW since modern was like 2008. So yeah, I don't know what it looks like, but I've heard of things like Mythic and Mythic Plus and I don't know, Heroics or something. I'm just making up words. And that there's so many mechanics. So yeah, how many people do this? I guess where my head was at, as I think mouse controls are reasonable, but it depends on if you want full standard controller support. Referring to controller layout configuration, basically give the default config out of the box for players. I see what you mean. I guess I don't know exactly what the buttons would do yet, but I think it's because we haven't made this controller friendly. Like, how do you add a skill point here right now? You'd have to be able to move a cursor over to that button. Or we'd have to make a special thing that has like, oh, the focus is over here. Now you press right and it's over here, and you can press like A or B to add or remove a point. Adds radar too. All the dodge each other's shooting lines. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to click that video now, but I've probably seen a video like it. I like the UI. Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, we've got a lot of nice little changes to the game. It's looking more and more like a real game. I have it running at AX speed right now. It's not supposed to be that fast. The UI was so small last time. Oh, that might just be because I have the game scale turned up. Like you can still. Oh, what just happened? Huh, that's weird. It's like lagging the game as I do this. It's definitely strange. Oh, it's throwing a bunch of exceptions as I do that. Really? Huh. It's throwing 9 exceptions. I wonder if the exception we're getting at the very beginning of the game is because we're trying to set the game scale to something different. Well, that's a good bug to figure out, but I still wonder what could even be causing that. Changing the game scale. It must be something to do with saving. Yeah, I bet it is. So this doesn't cause an issue. Can I start a scenario here? Oh man, this is not what I wanted this to look like, I guess. Oh, and this is broken too. Although it's probably because of some weird screen thing that's going on. All right, I'll have to figure that out. But let's try this. So yeah, no issue there. But if I set the settings back to 2x and I save and I quit and I try again, does it cause an issue this time? Hey, Crixel. There's a bug with window resize. If you start the game with full screen and then resize the window, all dialogues are broken. Are you on Windows OS, Crixel? Because I think this is known, but I'll write this down. You are, yeah. They're on Windows. Is the game out to play? So the demo has been out for about a year now. The full launch won't be until probably like early next year. So if you wanted to try the demo, it's about 2 hours of gameplay. Why does this keep popping open? I don't want that open. Yeah, it's about 2 hours of gameplay. However, Liquidor, if you want, I could write you down as a, okay, so here's let me say what I need. I need people to play test the game at various points. And at one point what I'm going to need is like a near launch point where the game is basically complete, but I need someone to like main the game for a bit and see how it feels from the start. So if you want, you could wait until then. But if you don't want, you could also just play it sooner. Doesn't matter. When you say full screen, do you mean the Windows maximizer set to full screen, no borders? Curious to test this. Yeah. Aw, clonk. I just bought the company I worked at for 10 years. Whoa, nice. Happily give it a go as a newbie tester later this year. Well, so to give you an idea of timeline, I guess technically any time is okay, and I might already have testers for this, but the near launch stuff might be like maybe in January. Should I just write you down as like contact Liquidor in January? Yeah, you're not even committing to this, just to be clear. I just need to write a calendar reminder for myself. So like I could just write a note here. Contact Liquidor in January to see if he'll test Skeleseller from the beginning all the way through. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Hey, Dad Walking. You taking some time off streaming or going on vacation? Both. So yeah, I'll be going on vacation. I'm not in your Discord, I think. I pruned it earlier this year. Yeah, if you could rejoin it, that would make it easier. Or share your email address with me, DM me or whisper me on Twitch or something. Just some way that I have a way to contact you. Or add me as a friend on Discord, I guess. Any of those should work. Because otherwise, I don't know how to reach out to you. I guess I could level up a character in World of Warcraft and then infiltrate your guild and bench everybody else. So it's just you and me in the raid. And then I have you play Skeleseller through an add-on that I make. That'd probably work. It's a good idea. I'll join. Okay, yeah. It's definitely easiest. Oh my God, look at this. It's the bottom of the to-do list. People said it didn't exist, but it's there. You can see it. Oh my goodness. These are exciting times, people. Exciting times. How many characters are we down to now? 34:15, and we started with 57:72. Neat. The stuff we do to stay logged in. Yep. Yep. And nice liquid ore, yeah. Okay, so what is still remaining here? Tooltips for these probably need to change. Search the code base for this. Change we need to make for regular mode. Balance this stuff. Okay, I am not going to do this stuff right now. I'm going to tackle this list, and then we're going to try to do a release. Yeah. So let's just file this for later. Yeah, consider renaming buy perks to buy. Let's go take a look at that. Whatever, I just want that to go away. All right, so battle map, adventurers, perks, and buy perks. And the idea here is just delete the word perks from this. So it just says buy. But then this would probably need to say town perks, and this would need to say level up perks because the word perks wouldn't be assumed here. But perks aren't really for buildings or higher anyway. Let's go take a look. So see how it feels. Buy perks. Right there. So just buy. And then instead of town and whatever else that we have, we change this to perks and perks. And I guess we capitalize those. All right, let's see that. This is a very minor change. And also, one of the things that's a little bit difficult, and you know, I mentioned playtesting a lot. We have two modes in the game, story mode, and then it leads to bone mode. So Pige yesterday tried bone mode. He tried story mode like months ago. So he forgot practically everything. And as a result, even just the sort of basic menus that show up here were a bit unfamiliar. So seeing perks and then buy perks looked a little unusual, but other people might echo that sentiment. So now we have buy and then town perks, level up perks, build, and hire. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Gotta go. Time to raid. All right, take care, Liquidor. Good luck with the company takeover. All right, so reword some tabs. I suggested these changes. Or, well, at least the buy change. The buy perks buy change. Yeah, I like this. Let's give Pige a point as well. Renegade Pige. There we go. All right, so that's done. Many people have commented on being confused about how to level up adventurers. There's probably something in scenario 1. So there is a tip now that shows up. Where is that? Here it is. And what does it say? You have enough wisdom sludge to level up. Do so via level up perks, which will present a random set of adventures. The thing is, he was confused after he'd already leveled up once. A lot of people look in here, though, for how they can level up or how they can put skill points in. And I wonder what we should do about that. Like, we could put a level up button here and just say, you can't level up through this, and it just redirects you to here. And we could make it so that we put text here at the bottom that says, like, you don't get skill points. I think I'm just going to keep an eye on this. I'll just keep an eye on this and see how other new players adapt. I think they all eventually figure it out. Color code the battle perks. So this was another suggestion that he had, which is that we have things like health, haste, lifesteal, and what if we had colors for all of them? And I wonder if maybe there are a couple ways we could do this. One is color code every stat. I think it would turn into like a rainbow stat sheet. It's like when you have too many colors and none of the colors matter. Another thing we could do is color code just health. Make it red instead of dark red. Color per category. I'm not sure that would help. Like, what would you make as a categories here? I guess like offensive and defensive. The thing is, the way we generate stats is we always generate health. Health is always going to be there. And then we generate 2 offensive ones and then 1 defensive one. So every single time you'd always see red and then like whatever other color we use, blue, blue, and then green. And it would always show that way to the point where the colors wouldn't really mean much. Also, please do not segment your messages. Can't reproduce the issue on Linux. Tried a whole bunch of different things. Windows has some weird issue with dialogue sizing. We've had this problem hit us for practically every single thing in the game, and I can't repro it myself on Mac, so I have to like try on Windows. And yeah, it's affected like everything. There's still some problems there too. So yeah, I'm not sure that coloring any of these is probably super worthwhile. But the one thing I could see is when we do health. So we have what, health battle perk here. We could say color equals red. I want to see what this looks like. I'm not certain I'm gonna like it. Because it'll now stand out even though it's not really special. That's another thing with color coding. If you only color one thing, then is it just confusing at that point? Yeah. So now health really stands out in this dialogue. And it's not even interesting. I think most people aren't going to care about it. Something I think might be more interesting is if we had icons for all of them. So there's like a little heart for health and a sword for power and a boot for haste. Or something along those lines. But then you need to hover over them to see what they all do. I think I kind of just like how it is. Of course, we could test this out. We could do different colors for all of them just to kind of see quickly. Color equals blue. I'll copy this for all of these things. What other battle perks do we have? I guess if we just search for this, we should find them all, right? Dodge. Let's make this one green. Vote. Fortitude. We'll make this one green. Haste is blue. Lifesteal would be blue. Power would be blue. I don't care too much about the specific colors right now. I just want to see what it would look like. Is this considered offensive or defensive? Thorns. Isn't there like an offensive? Yeah, here it is. Fortitude, dodge, and lifesteal are considered defensive. So this is green. So this is considered offensive. And then have I done them all? There's skills and there's something else. What's this something else? Skills, thorns, lifesteal. We did all that. Yeah, I think we did all of them. I should really just mark that this is done so it doesn't keep doing that. There. Whoops. Didn't mean to click that. All right. Yeah, so this is with very bright colors. It wouldn't be super bright like this. Maybe we should make them look a little bit better if we're going to do that. So instead of color equals blue, which should only exist in the new stuff that I added. Yeah. Instead of color equals blue, let's say dark blue, which I think is a valid color. And then instead of color equals green, we say dark green. And we only add color equals red for health.
Whoops.
So, yeah, let's go try that. Yeah, it's always the same color order because that's how I rendered these in the first place. It's always going to be red on top. It's always going to be green on bottom. And only the skill can be slightly different. But otherwise, it'll always be two blues in the middle. There is something to be said for that. But it makes skills stand out even less now. Let's take a picture of this so I don't lose it. You can see faster that the middle one has a skill instead. Wait, what? I think you can see it slower now. Before, the only thing that was colorful was the skill stuff. Do I have a picture of this? I don't have a picture of the old one. Yeah, but I could just stash this and then do this. And skills were really the only super important thing, I would say. I am torn on this. I'm not definitely leaning against it. I just don't know that it's very helpful. So this is what it used to look like. And here you can see there are no skills because nothing is standing out. But when we finally get a skill, well, now they all have skills. I want it to be just one of these. Yeah, like this. So this is what things used to look like. So how do we put this in here? Canvas size. The other thing I was thinking about is that we don't have this set of colors showing anywhere else. Like, would we then also color all of these? So health would turn red, and then all of these would turn like bluish, and then the bottom ones would turn green. So that the colors actually correspond between tabs. The other thing we could do is if there's a skill, we could like elevate it to the top or separate it somehow. Because I guess right now it's not guaranteed to be the third slot. It could be the second slot. Those are both in the third. That's in the third. That's in the third. That's in the third. Okay, maybe they are forced to be in the third slot. Yeah, they are. Can't just be pure chance that we haven't seen like 11 of those, right? Well, I guess it could, but it's unlikely. Yeah, I don't know. Anyone else in chat think anything about this? Do you like the top one? Do you like the bottom one? Is there some other middle ground in between the two of them? I mean, if we're going to do this, by the way, we should probably make skills be a different color altogether. Okay, there is one thing that this does that I don't think would be obvious to players unless we color coded them, which is that you recognize that it is always in this order. You might think it's a coincidence that health is always on top. Why not give them a black half-transparent frame? Give what a black half-transparent frame? The stats? Are you just talking about like put them on a... Yeah, you're saying like put them on a darkened background? So we would basically take... How do I do this? Yeah, so I do this and I like... I don't even know how to do what I'm trying to do. Yeah, anyway, I think I know what you're talking about. Small colored icons like a sword for offensive, heart for health, shield for defense. Yeah, I think if we did that, I guess we could have both the icons and the text. So it could show like a heart first and then +8 health, and then a sword and +2 power. It's always the same, so it's always going to look the same. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave this as is for now. I think there's one tiny change I'll make, which is for skills perks, we bold the skill name, which I think would look just slightly better. So this is going to be all the colors and the bolded name, but all I want is a bolded name, I think. I just want to see what it looks like when I bold this and have the colors. So I click that and that and that. Yeah, I like the bolding. Yeah, I guess we get rid of the colors. The other thing we could do is make health very, very slightly different so it doesn't stand out. So let's revert all these other ones. Revert, revert, revert. Okay, there. And then instead of dark red, we pick something very close to that. Well, actually, maybe dark red's already pretty close. So now the only... Oops. I reverted the wrong thing. Oh, man. I thought I was being careful. I apparently wasn't. It's not like it's hard to get that back. Okay. So how's this look? Yeah, so health is very slightly different. It's a different red from the other ones, which almost makes it look like a mistake. But the bolded skills, I do like that. It makes them stand out. They're already green. No, actually, I don't think I like the bolded skills. But do we keep the red health? I guess I'd take a picture of this one. No, I don't really see much of a need. Yeah. These things are tough because I'm not necessarily trying to solve an important problem here. We're just trying to make this look a little bit better. Because originally, I think what Page maybe assumed in this dialogue is that these choices, they're going to be very impactful. So being able to quickly tell at a glance what is being given is important, but they're not super impactful. And what's more impactful is just, are you getting it for an adventure you have or that you don't have? What level are they already? So for example, here we have Mushy. So this is not red. So this is actually probably more important than any of the stats we're actually getting, because this will benefit us now. Whereas even though this is granting a skill, it might not benefit us right now. And now here we have none of them. So I maybe hire one of them. I didn't actually get one of them. Yeah. So we have the Paladin, we have the Rogue. And then once you do have them, then maybe comparing might be interesting, but even then it's not really too crazy. In fact, it almost makes me wonder, like, what if there's a 20% chance that we like tripled every number in the bonuses? Is that interesting? And my answer is no, I don't think it would be. Because all it would make you do is pay attention now to these numbers to see like, oh, 3 power, but the other one got 12. Oh my God, we're going to that one then, plus 12 power. And like every time you see the tripled one, you'd be like, well, we got to grab that. See, I don't think it's very interesting. I think this does come down to just like, what crazy build do you end up with that maybe in other games you don't end up with it. There are some skills that are very impactful, but probably most of them won't be too crazy. So yeah, I think it's even questionable whether I'm going to keep this with the red health. It's subtle, but it does make health look special or like you can highlight it. So yeah, I'm gonna cut this out. All right, well, that was a waste of time. Okay, so I tried this out, and my general conclusion was that this whole dialogue is only important for picking specific adventurers, not really picking stats. Hardly anyone who seems interested in bone mode looks at the stats themselves, thus making them stand out more probably doesn't matter. And then maybe I'll include this picture that I have here. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah, I'll put this in here. Now we'll just archive this stuff. Feedback, done. Okay, what's next? Industry scenario says you start with hardworking adventurers, but that's redundant. Yep. Whoever came up with this idea is pretty genius. Yeah, I ended up removing it. So this gives you hardworking adventurers. And it even says that you start with that. And the garbage time perk. There, done. This is another bug that I didn't even realize until watching Pages run. Makes me a jerk or an idiot or both. I can't go to the scenario, but it's only scenario number, what, 4 or 5? So let's just win our way through them all. Yeah, so it's definitely not 3. And yeah, there it is. Start with many extra workers in the garbage time perk. So now we click this and we only see garbage time. Nice. But adventurers should still be able to pick up items. So let's go get all of the adventurers and a whole bunch of items. And we should see Mr. Archer here. Go pick something up. Perfect. Yeah. So fix industry description. It mentioned hardworking adventurers, which is granted by default. It was also force granting it anyway, causing it to show in the perks dialog. Oh, I already gave you a point. Right there. So, one step ahead of you. Because, yeah, one of the things that you suggested was changing the buy tab. I do like that. So this is done. Should test out having the extractor grinder be used as overflow and off. Yeah, I'm going to put this down in the backlog. This isn't important to do right this second. He said to change a quick move menu so that 1 is the shop, 2 is the slime, 3 is the extractor. They'd be in order of usage. Yeah, so what is the best usage for this? So we have shop / guild / what does a crop do? We need instant loot for that. How do I get instant loot quickly? Let's just go grant it by default. Challenge mode functions. Holding items. Where is that? Huh, isn't there an extractor thing here too? Where did I put any of that? Oh, I know where. I put them in a constants. This is actually the smarter way to do things. Yeah. Innate abilities. Okay, so now we give you instant loot as well. This is pretty good. Coming for you, Kevin. Okay, so this is a very, very specific interaction in the game. It's pretty rare for you to be able to get crops on the cursor. But if we go build the enchanter and build the warehouse, there we go, and then click this, we get, no, I wanted to click that. You stupid jerk skeleton. Now I gotta wait. All right, just give them other items to keep them busy. There we go. Now I click this, and there's the crop. Is number 1? No, it isn't. Oh, wait, what? It isn't showing anywhere? Oh, I never coded that apparently. Huh. Okay, well, that's a problem. All right, well, whatever. Okay, then one is the shop and the guild. What else do we have? Oh, and treasure chests. Item, supply, key. And then what is number two? That's the warehouse. It never gets changed. Two, warehouse. Three is the garbage slime, and I believe also never gets changed. Yeah. Hey, Soli, how you doing? Four is the tavern. Yep. And five is the extractor or weapon key grinder. Increase my tutorial speed. You know what's going to increase your tutorial speed the most is the meta upgrades that you unlock. Imagine starting with 10 workers, all the adventurers, all the buildings, a bunch of town perks, tons of customers. Okay, so number one should still be number one. Remain the same. Warehouse should probably be 5. I think the garbage slime would either be 2 or 3. And then extractor would be 2 or 3. And the tavern would be 4 or 5. Warehouse would be 4 or 5. I think that's probably good. So now we just need to decide the exact order of these. Does it use more than the key grinder? Because I use that quite a bit. Now, I guess the tavern is pretty infrequent. Yeah, so maybe we say this 4 and this would be 5. So then of these two, which one's more important? Probably the garbage slime. Yeah, I think the garbage slime should be 2 and the extractor should be 3. I think this is what we'd probably do. I think that makes sense. The tavern, by the way, is for collecting quest items so that you can get more workers. And in bone mode, it probably gets used a little more than the warehouse because, well, actually, I guess it all depends. But I also don't really think there's a big difference between pressing 4 and 5 on your keyboard in terms of where your finger has to go. And if you have a split keyboard, like when I had the Microsoft ergonomic keyboard, I think it splits at 6. What key is up there? Yeah, 6. 6 is up there. So then after 6, you wouldn't be able to use your left hand as easily. And I wonder about those like one-hand gaming keyboards. Let me just make sure I do this off screen in case something stupid shows up. Okay, good. Where do they cut off? This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one, whoa, it's a weird looking keyboard. Okay, I can't even open that link because of my ad blocker. This one doesn't even have number keys there? Oh, I see. I just saw F1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Yeah, most of them just go to 5. So yeah, I don't think there should be a problem. If we had 6 things, then there might be a problem. You don't need to send to a warehouse often because they automatically go there. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, okay. I agree with that logic. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So garbage slime is currently on 3. Extractor. So garbage slime in this switch. No, that's not true. All right, whatever. We just got to go figure it out. All right, so how do we do this? Item, action, menu. Send to shop is going to be the same. Warehouse, we're saying, is going to be at the end. So we put that down there. Then garbage slime, we said would be number 2. Extractor, we said would be number 3. And then the other thing. Good. And does this just magically work? Or do we have to change keyboard shortcuts in the actual menu? I don't know. No, yeah, we got to change these probably. Warehouse, extractor. recycler there. Use something like this for MMOs. Yeah. Compensation and 4 points. I'm giving you 1 point for the entirety of yesterday, and I think I'm using two of your ideas. So according to you, I have withheld 1 point. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Okay, so we just got to go pick up an item and take a look at what it's got on the list now. So 1 is still a shop. Oh, this is backwards. Now 2 is showing over here. So we need to change what the numbers are on them. Does 2 try going there? Oh, that just broke everything. Or it seemingly broke everything. It like lagged everything. Oh, that might have been for a different reason. Okay, let's unlock the warehouse and see what's going on. Yeah, 5 is working. They just have the wrong labels on them. So what gives them those labels? Labels right there. None of these are ever filled in, right? No, they aren't. The orb weaver. That sounds like a razor product. Yeah, it is. I don't use razor products. Actually, I used to just use a half of my Ergodox for that. And it worked pretty well. I think I just prefer using a regular QWERTY keyboard though. It's less ergonomic, but there's also less you have to learn. All right, so what am I doing? Trying to find those labels. Get button label, button ID. What? Label text? Where do we set this? What? Huh. Hey, Ramu. How you doing? Is it this button shortcut actions? I already removed these. The shortcuts are working just fine. The labels are wrong. But I don't know where the button labels are even set up. It looks like it's only in generated code. Oh, this is exported. Oh my God. I didn't see the export. Okay, then that makes sense. So we set them in here. Label text is 1. Looks good. Label text is 2. Label text is 3, 4, and 5. Okay, my bad. No wonder it's only in generated code. So now everything should match. So let's just click this and then get the quick move menu and then get an item here. So 1 is the shop, 2 is the garbage line, which we don't have. Excuse me. Yep, nice. 3 is what? The extractor, which is we have, but it's overflowing right now. So there we go. And then what? 4 is the tavern. And then 5 is the warehouse, which we also don't have. Give me that item back. All right, yeah, that's probably nice. I would need to play an actual game to figure out if I really like this. Okay, so rearrange QMM. Pige suggested that we put the most often used destinations as the first shortcuts to make it easier to remember and physically press on the keyboard. Delete this. Cool. Yeah, I like that. Wait, before I do this, let's test it with an armor item really fast. Make sure I didn't break something. And then get that thing. So now this should be the key grinder. Yes. And if I get some keys and oh, how many does it take? Give me some keys. Okay, there we go. And then I get a treasure chest and I press 1 here. Yep, that's looking good. Cool, cool, cool. Done with that stuff. All right, so I'd like to release a new version of the game now. And then I think we probably call it. We can run some of this stuff now. .NET format. Close out of all that. Close out of this. Wait for this to finish. Make sure we address all to-do items. Have we? Yeah, we have. This is done. We're running this right now. Should be done pretty soon. It takes about 30 seconds. Yeah, 28 seconds. Change all runs save data to be read. I'm not fixing that right now. We'll fix that at some point in the future. I don't want to touch this. Run .NET format. Then let's go run the UID tool. Come on. All right, so that's done. That's done. Merge branch, I'm about to do. Run through all these questions with playtesters. Are any of these still important, I wonder? How much of this do you enjoy? How much do you want to keep playing? This has gone up a lot. This is the #1 question of all of this stuff. Are you having fun? And yeah, I've seen people at least say that they're having more fun than they used to. Do the runs feel all that different from one another? I think the scenarios help. I think unlocking perks also helps. But I think it's less felt by new players. And it's especially felt when I go through and I'm like, man, I want that perk to show up and it's not there. Do we need mid-run trade-offs? How do you want the difficulty to go up? Buildings, how does the fishing pond feel? Yeah, I think we don't need to look through these too much anymore. Probably getting stuck. What achievements? Okay, this one's still important. What achievements would you like to see? Do you feel a sense of progress? Are any perks incompatible? Are all perks at least somewhat interesting? Do we have a sandbox mode? Can anything be simplified? Yeah, cool. All right, I'm happy with how that has gone. This is just run UID tool. Delete these two things. More things off the to-do list. All right. So we put this in the archive. Okay, we got the to-do list down to 3168 characters. I mean, that's pretty good. Where do we start this? Here. So 8 days ago, we had 15,000 characters, and then it started going up, and it went to 20,000. Ended with this many characters. Did another release pre-vacation. Now I got to go put our money where our mouths are and do the release. So let's push this. Go merge it into main. This was mostly going through the to-do list. Do any other random tasks. It mostly fits into QOL/polish stuff. Create. I mean, I still need to finish this up at some point. So file the rest of the tasks from this. All right, 71 files changed. We got a bunch of commits. I'm just going to merge this. Oh, right. There was another bug that we had. Changing the game scale causes an object dispose exception every time. We're not going to fix that right now. It doesn't seem to break the game, but it is unfortunate. All right, so we switch back to this. And then we start our release. which means I need to set environment variables. There should be a way to validate that we've set them. Like if I just echo this into the terminal, can I type in here? Echo, what? Hello? No, it's not set. Engage privacy mode. Give me a sec. This is always annoying. But this is what you have to do for security. Make your monitor really tiny. Almost done. Okay. Okay, now I go to release this. Gonna change the scale every time I pick up an item and then complain. I really appreciate that you've been testing everything, Xyletics. It's been helpful. See, I took Xyletics tongue-in-cheek Kappa message turn into a heartfelt message. Environment variable metrics server URL is not set. What? I definitely set that. Uh-oh. What's going on? Something strange is happening. Let me try this again. Sorry, I can eventually show this stuff on screen again. But it said I didn't set a variable that I definitely set. It's still saying it. Oh, it's saying the password isn't set. Oh, maybe I copy pasted the wrong thing. I don't know how I could have copy pasted the wrong thing though. There are only two things. So yeah, well, whatever. Let's just try this again and again until it works. Yeah, again, I know I'm doing this off screen right now. I am trying to get this thing to actually start building so I can write out the patch notes. Okay, now it's working. Okay, patch notes. Patch notes come from here. So the last thing we submitted was on the... Wait, when did I release the last version? Playtest news. October 17th, which is 4 days ago. Did this make it in? What is this? Oh yeah, that made it in. I need to make a hotfix for that. So it's just this stuff. Okay. Let's copy all this into VS Code. And then let's go get the format for this. So this is 0919, launched on current UTC time. Major changes, minor changes. All right, fix bug with timers. Yeah, I don't care about this. Fix bug with keys. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to write this down either. All right, added keyboard shortcuts to bone mode. Press escape in game to see them. In short, F1 to F4. Open the different by tabs, and Q and E will go to the previous / next tab in some dialogues. Okay. Show smoke and play sounds for buildings. I don't think we need to write that down. Improve all perks tab. The tab bar is hidden now. Yeah, I'm not going to write that either. So text when perks tree is empty. Move key grinder. Okay, this one's pretty important. I'd say this is even major. Battle window positions are now restored between bone mode runs. Or remembered. Your best time for a given bone mode scenario now shows on the new run screen. Next disposal of tips. None of this stuff really matters. Yeah. Minor other improvements not worth explicitly listing. Make it more obvious when picking level up perks that you haven't hired someone. Their portrait's background will now be red. Rerolls should almost never. Rerolling town perks should almost never produce the same 3 results. Saves should not be wiped out. Yeah, you're right. This will only, how do I say that? Need to have completed a scenario after downloading this version for the time to show. Okay, done with that. And then this, I think this is also pretty big. Rearrange items in the quick move menu so that the most used ones have the lowest numbered hotkeys. This will be the last patch until November. The only major missing things are more content. Well, yeah, it's really only that. Perks, unlock perks, and scenarios. Yeah. Okay, so that's the thing. We need to go release this here, copy. And then I need my phone so that I can do the 2-factor auth for Steam here. So .19, set build live. Sorry, I gotta find this. No confirmations. Oh, I gotta click OK. Done. All right, so the build is now live. Now we just gotta type in the patch notes. Yeah. Wow. And then we push the tag that I just made. Pretty good. I should probably try that build really fast, huh? Man, this has been a lot of work. I'm kind of worried that I'll work on another game in the future and I'll just be like, God, I know what this is all like. It's going to be like a year of just struggling, trying to find the fun, polishing things, etc. I like making games. I think it's very cool to have a game that you can build on and not build every little thing up from scratch. right, so let's make a new run. Let's try, sure, this one. And let's start with a bunch more customers. So I'm going to actually play this for a little bit at least. Maybe the whole thing. Just want to see if I run into any issues. All right, let's hire an adventurer. Good, good. Is this too loud? I hope it's not too loud. And I'll build... let's get the enchanters then. I'll let them collect up some items. And then we'll start casting some customer spells. Because then we need both another adventurer and... I might as well get this. And... what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, the garbage slime. Alright, we got a bunch of things in the shop, so I guess we can click this. And actually, by not getting the garbage slime, we'll make sure every single shop is always filled. They walk over here and then just turn around immediately. No, I wanted to click that. Ah, got it. Nice, that's the item reservation system that allowed me the time to do that. Because now only one skeleton is going to go after any item on the ground, instead of all of them running toward it, and then only one of them getting it. So they're changing, pretty happy about. Yeah, so they're buying stuff pretty fast. We're eventually going to have every single skeleton just deadlocked waiting for stuff. So, yeah, I should probably get another adventurer first. There. Okay, let's get that. And then let's send him into the next area. Come on, hit him with one more fireball. Got it, nice. Okay. Then I'll get a building. They can beat this, right? Yeah. They're pretty slow, though. Yeah, I definitely want another building. In fact, let's get this. Let's get Loot Magnet. Hey, it procced. Nice. All right. Let's get the treasure room. I don't want the garbage slime. I explicitly don't want them yet. So I guess we should get the fishing pond first and then just turn that off for now. But yeah, I want another building. Hey, Ryan. How you doing? That was still running. And it procced a second time. Nice. All right. Treasure room? Treasure room. Nice. All right. Now we got to level up our adventurers. We should probably send them into... Oh, this is super cool. We're getting a lot of money. We should probably send them into the fishing pond. Good. Let them clear that out. Because the first bits of sludge are better than all of the other bits of sludge. And then should I build something else? I don't think we need the warehouse or anything. Ah, you know what? I'll hire another adventurer. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get the witch doctor. And while we're waiting for them to finish that, I will send the witch doctor into the forest. They probably won't even be able to win a single fight by the time that starts. That's totally fine. We'll send them all into here now. Yeah, there we go. But that gives us enough to level up a couple of characters. In fact, we just got empowered spellcasting level 2. Every time you cast a spell, your power increases by 1% up to a maximum of 50%. That's probably decent. So yeah, I'll get some town perks now, I guess. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't have the mana for it. We're going to need the garbage slime pretty soon because we have nothing we can do with these extra keys. Or daggers. In fact, we can do this and get rid of a whole bunch of those. They want a regular bow. Buy more stuff. Oh, nice. They worked through a few of them. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's send him back to get a bow really fast. Although, no, wait. I wouldn't even be able to put it in the shop. So I guess that's pointless. I should probably just get the garbage slime, huh? Alright, that means we need one sail. And there's the sail. And there's the garbage slime. And now we're going to overload him with daggers. Yeah. And a very small amount of money is what we get. in exchange. So now we could go back and get the bow for them. I don't actually think it's worth it. I'm not gonna do that. Let's get the warehouse. We don't dump a bunch of items. Pretty good. Pretty good. So I guess I can put the extras into here rather than feeding them to the garbage slime. And I think leveling up an adventure would be nice. In fact, putting this inside the key grinder would probably be best. Why won't that? Oh, because of the stupid drop zone. Oh my god. Alright, that's a bug. The key grinder's drop zone overlaps with the armor shops, so you can't easily drag items onto it. That's frustrating. I mean, we can still do this, but yeah, it's annoying. Do I want adventures? No, actually, what do I want to get? I guess I'll get some Tom perks. More treasure stands, pretty good. Even more, not good yet, but I'm always hungry would be nice. Auto fishing, yeah, definitely. Oh my god, that's really good. Yeah, nice. Now we don't need to do anything with that. Not enough mana. I'm about to get enough. Let's turn this on. Let's get some keys. Let's just power up our adventurers. How much do we get? 50% chance to double. It did not double. We got a key. Expanded warehouse. Oh, special keys for sure. Expanded weapon shop. Yes. Good. Good. Things are moving along. I could use more items, so we should probably get another adventurer. I'll sell this one, because that person wants a cloak. They probably won't even get it. So this person's going to try to get it. But nope. Sucker. No armor for you. It's a hefty tip. Alright, next adventure is 100. Let's get that. We're at 81, 87. We're gonna need fish every once in a while too. That's pretty good. Still at 87. They're gonna buy something. 97. We just need a tiny bit more money. There we go. Our adventurer. Let's do the archer. Let's send them into the forest on their own. Actually, you know what I should do is send a couple characters into here. Maybe you two. There we go. They should be able to win. And then I'll turn this off so that it goes into the shop. Or I can just feed it to the slime myself. We just gotta make sure we click this before they do. Nice. Okay, so now restart that battle. This will give me 99. Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll put it in there. Alright, now what do I need? I need the farm, probably. Ooh, love employee discount. Increased appetite's really good here too. It's nice. Yeah, cool. I think we got this off the ground now. It took about 9 minutes. And maybe we can send them into the next location pretty soon. Ooh, they want some stuff that I have. I can give them stuff. No. Put those in the shop. Go over there. I just need them to buy that blue potion. They're going to go there. Nice. Oh, whoops. 3 is not what it used to be. It's 2 that I want. Alright, a lot of people going for cloaks right now. That's fine, though. We have a lot of cloaks. Nice. Oh, you know what I realized? We could make customers do the same thing, where each customer only seeks out a certain item. Why didn't I think of that? I don't think we need to do that, though. And it would probably make it so that you need way fewer customers. Okay, both of these are really, really good. Actually, all of these are really good. And yeah, that's nice. That was extraction, though. Oh, in fact, we should turn this back on. We don't have any fish. What is it? 3. Yeah. Yeah, so we can stop this battle, and we can probably make them go fight in the next location now. Haste for Mushy is pretty good. Auto casting's not bad, but I'll re-roll this. I think Swift Shoes for so many workers is just so powerful. But yeah, let's go to the next location. Oh, they're just buying it right from the warehouse. Nice. And now we're getting some loot. Good. We can click this pretty soon. Wow, look at those workers go. And there. Instant loot and customer speed. Game Dead Days become enjoying the game. Yeah, yeah. I like it. Although this is the day before my vacation. So whereas I might have moved on a regular day, today I am going to just play and then probably sign off. But how's it going, narrative? Let's get special keys. Alright, so we're still low on items. That just barely was in time to double the loot. And we have, unfortunately, the shoes going to the wrong spot. Oh, there's no... Oh, yes, there's. Nice. Okay, cool. So I'll put these in here. No, I didn't want to do that. Oh, man. Oh, well, whatever. I haven't gotten used to the new keyboard shortcuts. I still have the muscle memory for the wrong numbers. Wow. Okay, lots of loot's probably the best one. Oh, nice. Opened up immediately. So another adventure would be good. Oh, I have another adventure. Let's put him in here. Alright, I'll put a couple potions in the shop. We'll put that in the tavern. We'll sell that. Whoops, that's not selling. Stupid different hotkeys. Stupid muscle memory. Yeah, I want another adventure. I'm getting almost no loot. Let's put this in here. Let's turn this back on. We could use a couple of treasure chests. Let's buy 2 of them. Ooh, nice. Another one of those. And another one of those. Wow, great. That's awesome. And if I do this, I immediately get some loot, right? Yeah. Oh, a skeleton key. No, give me that. I want that. I want to put that in this chest. Nice. Okay, now we got a lot for our workers to do. I guess I can speed that up anyway. So I think they can maybe take on the next area. And do we have another adventure yet? I don't think I ever got that. But they're going to win this pretty soon. They're taking forever, though. Well, 19 seconds isn't forever, but it feels like forever. Can they beat the next location? I guess I'm relying on auto fishing. And also, I should probably turn this off for a bit. Pretty good. Yeah, it looks like they're going to win. Just need 9 more gold. There it is. Now let's get the golem. And then send both of those characters over here. In fact, you know what? Turn this off for a sec and send them all over to this. They can probably beat the dragon. And then sell one of those. I could even potentially double the loot you get from the dragon. But I don't have the mana. I'm not going to wait. Turn this back on. Easy. Can they beat this? I would be surprised. I don't think they should be able to. Well, that would help out a lot, though. So would this, actually. Alright, so who's dying? Just the mushroom so far. Stronger hires. +3 level ups. Unfortunately, I'm going to re-roll this. Oh my god, 3 treasure chests. And expanded potion shop. Yeah, let's get that. And crop riding. Alright, yeah, they're losing. And I don't think that level up I just got is going to make a big difference. So let's send them back to the last location. And I'll turn on loot doubling before they win. Oh, nice. So cool. Oh, more treasure stands. What if I just turn on auto purchasing? And just like supercharge my adventurers? Alright, there we go. It did not double loot. But they're winning hopefully fast enough that they can do that again. I want some of those to go in the shops. They're selling things pretty quickly over there. Loot Magnet has 4 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. They're not going to win. And I don't have enough mana to cast it again. Took them just long enough. I don't have any of these adventures. Yeah, let's hold off. I'll get another adventure, I think. Alright, lots of loot there. Rapidly clicking. Alright, so maybe we should send them into fish now. And if I hire another adventurer next, which is what I plan to do, then I think we'll be a little bit more balanced there. Yeah. Oh wow, they're bringing everything in there. It's gonna have maximum fish. Probably manually move some potions to the shop, huh? Yeah, that works. Okay, looking good. Only so many keys that we can hold there. Nice. Get that. Hire any of the ones that show up over here. Cleric or warrior? Who's better? Let's go with the warrior this time. And then level them up. And then, yeah, you know what? Let's power up the warrior a bit. Okay. We have another level up. Again, warrior. And then I think we can send these to the higher level locations now. We've probably powered them all up enough. In fact, I'll turn on auto purchasing and we will just immediately get a couple of these treasure chests. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get all of them basically. Alright, so get you out of there. Send you into this. Turn off auto purchasing for a sec. And get these treasures. Are they able to win now? I hope so. I guess turn that off again. I don't have another adventure. I only have these 3, but they can probably go into... They can maybe even beat this. They're all pretty powerful now thanks to the treasure. Yeah, they're able to beat this pretty easily. Yeah, I think there's some inflection point with treasure where this becomes too good. Yeah, I'm gonna get way too much loot now, huh? Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Wow. Okay, I guess let's just open all of this. I'll do this. Okay, so now they're all stupidly powerful, right? Do we even need another... No, I'm not even gonna do the other quest. Oh man, special keys. I think food critic is best though. I'm getting special keys. Free guild supplies, not as good. Stocking friendly. I actually am going to cast that probably. We have way more than enough items. And yeah, they just have to move from place to place. I don't have the mana for it. they're just getting so much stuff. It's not even the best spell to cast. I think this one is. Let's see if we can get, ooh, faster free treasure chest. Yeah, in fact, let's turn this off. Oh, wait, should... I don't know. 10 minutes to earn a medal. 4 minutes for gold. Can we do that? I don't know if we can do that in time. Yeah, fine. Cash shopping spree. And then I'll send my main party probably into the next location. Also, level is reduced by 19. It probably won't give me too much. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Shiny loot's pretty good. Let's get one level of that. And yes, probably this. Oh man, all this stuff is so good. There we go. Alright, so anytime we get a treasure chest, they're just going to immediately open it. Yeah, like there. There are going to be a couple people running up here. Yeah. Hang on one sec. Abby, you want to come in? Abby? Oh. I don't know if she wants to come in. All of this is really good. I'll go for that one. Oh my god. The golem went from level 1 to level 5. What did they get? 2 levels of resilience? They can probably fight in the next location then. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna make them go fight in the next location. So it's just the 3 of them. Can they take it on? And can these take on the final location? Wow. Well, that's a lot of items. We're actually kind of out of workers. Like, they're all doing something. So these can beat this pretty quickly. Can they beat the final location? Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Is it intentional that scroll to zoom doesn't work with touchpads anymore? Could have sworn before 9.18 it used to work. It is not intentional, and it definitely should work. None of that code should have changed. So that is spooky if it does not work. Is everyone winning? Oh, wow. That was faster than I thought. Wow. Well, that was cool. Yeah, I think the treasure room is a touch too powerful. But I do want to see, are these characters able to win? Because I haven't really spent a lot of time leveling them up. But it looks like the rogue is very powerful. And every single time they attack, they're healing for 2. Which isn't saying a lot. Okay, they're probably very close to winning. I bet if I just have them fight again, they're gonna win. Get some town perks here. I can still scroll to zoom with connected mouse. Huh, okay, I'll write that down. I don't know how I would test this though, because I don't have a trackpad. But I don't think I changed the code for that stuff. No. Yeah, I wonder if there's something that's absorbing. Like, when the mouse is over the terrain, does it work? Because if it's over the battle windows, it apparently doesn't. Yeah, maybe it's just broken. We're good now. Which would be annoying. Because that means I had to fix it. Oh, they're winning now. Yeah, nice. Alright, so I don't have cheats in this mode. I was going to say I'll speed this up, but I can't. But yeah, this is pretty cool. I think it's working well. We would now have unlocked new perks. Yeah, we're 10 out of 13. Alright. Well, I think that's it. I think we will probably call it now until November. Can I revert to old versions? No, there's no way to do that. At least not as far as I know. But yeah, I'll write it down. Maybe send her an old version to see if it was indeed working there. Maybe there's something blocking the mouse input. Okay. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks for supporting during this time when, man, I feel like challenge mode went all over the place. We started months ago and now I think it's in a pretty good spot. So I've got this written down here. People have access to this. Not that I suggest you ever read it, but the main two important things that we're going to do in November is make sure we can actually launch in Q1 and make sure that playtesters can start giving us feedback on the game as a whole. A lot of times up until now, it's been like, okay, try the new location or try this thing. But I want to get a wave of new playtesters who can just play the game from scratch and be like, yeah, this is pretty good. I beat story mode and I moved right on to bone mode, or I stuck around in story mode. Hey, Blue Pulsar, thank you. And thank you too, Galaxy Inferno. Now let's go find someone to raid. I'll still be on Discord and everything in the meantime. Oh, I'm going to go raid Tim. Actually, I shouldn't have said that before looking through the whole list. But yes, I am going to go raid Tim. Tim's working hard on his own game that he's trying to get done in 100 days. So if you'd like to keep in touch, there is the Discord link right there. Two different links. There's a Skeleseller specific one and then just the general Adam one. If you don't know which one you'd want to join, is probably the first one. But yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you again in November. Have a good one.